A night in with MauLer and the drinker, getting trashed with the web screen dictors. A cheap night cause I'm feeling kinda thrifty, got a 10-pack of beers and a bottle of whiskey. Hop up the cork, have a glass of wine, pass failed safe, I'll be fine. Trouble walking in a straight line, but pour me a Pinot Noir. It's open bar with our hosts, MauLer and the critical drinker.
All right, everybody, hello. Check us out with our spooky background because it's spooky season now, MauLer. Are you happy?
Yes.
Please, now it's October.
It is the correct time of year, full stop. And, you'd think this is just the spooky avatar. I was like, no, this is just a live image of my reaction after seeing Tron Ares. That's how I'm doing right now.
Sure, that's what it's
a little bit desiccated,
Yeah. It's like that portrait, the guy in the prison cell just ripping his own face off.
Yeah.
Screaming.
Oh.
I mean, really, did you expect anything more?
No, and I mentioned this to, I think it was Az and Gary, because they were like, oh, disappointed, and it was like the second trailer made it look much better. I was like, why would you ever have hope for this? Like a modern Tron, modern Tron even.
Yeah, this is really modern. Like the other one, when was that? Like 2017 or something? Like Tron Legacy?
No, 2010.
Oh my God, is it that old?
Yeah, it's that old.
Wow. Yeah, that's before the dark times.
It kind of is like a progenitor, though. It does a lot of stuff that we're familiar with now as a formula. I think it was a lot less offensive about it, though. Like we come back into the world, and he's like, oh, the main hero is gone, and he's abandoned everything. What could have happened? And like his.
What does this give us vibes of?
I mean, we're here to talk about something else today, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that shortly anyway, once we bring our panel in. But shall I hit you with some pointless knowledge?
Yes.
As is the custom. So I'll wait for the Halloween themed stuff until we do our next open bar. But for the time being, at least, this is going to reflect the year of our Lord, 1960, since this is open bar 160. What stuff happened in that year? John F. Kennedy was elected president. It was actually a pretty close race between... but Kennedy was elected and became the youngest president in U.S. history, succeeded Dwight D. Eisenhower. So, yeah, I'm sure everything will end well for him.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a good feeling about that Kennedy guy. Also, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho premiered, one of the most iconic horror thrillers of all time, set a new standard for the genre. So I actually watched it last year for the first time in about 20 years or at least. And I was struck by actually how fucking good it was. I genuinely enjoyed it again. Who was the actor? Oh, the name escapes me that played Norman.
Wait, sorry. I missed what film you were referencing.
I was referencing Psycho.
Oh, which is funny. I should know the name you're talking about because I watched the Ed Gein.
Anthony Perkins, that was it. The name just totally jumped out of my head there. Especially that final shot where he's talking about he wouldn't hurt a fly, and like that smile just turns malicious. Like, man, it's beautiful, beautiful bit of cinema right there. But yeah, other stuff that happens in terms of inventions. The first ever laser was invented in 1960. It was produced using a synthetic ruby. And rumor has it that it was mounted on the head of a shark, which is pretty fucking cool, I think. Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Evil. But yeah, I was going to say appropriate too, because lots of lasers in the films we're going to be talking about today.
There's so many lasers, yeah. I have many questions about the lasers in that film, actually. But
you should.
Hopefully you can answer them, yeah. Also, the first artificial pacemaker was created. Well, it's not really artificial because like they have to be artificial by definition. But it's successfully created and implanted into a human, which is nice. And the first ever electric toothbrush. Which,
well,
there you go. Helping teeth for the past 60 years, which is nice. In movies, some of the biggest movies of that year were Spartacus, which kind of cleaned up at the Oscars as well. Psycho, as I referenced. Exodus. The Alamo. We also got Magnificent Seven, Ocean's 11, before the George Clooney one. They did other versions of that before. Everything's just a remake these days.
Yeah.
And The House of Usher, which I thought might interest you. Be interested to see the non-Mike Flanagan version.
Yeah, it would. I'll see that sometime. So many things to see.
There are indeed, yeah.
And I choose stuff like Tron Ares.
Yeah, we didn't choose it. I chose it for you.
It chose us.
Yeah, it chose us. People born in this year: Hugh Grant, David Duchovny, Colin Firth, Sean Penn. It's kind of wild that they're all the same age. For some reason, I see David Duchovny as still being like 40 years old, which is
he's looked the same for fucking ages. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's aged pretty well. Stanley Tucci, Antonio Banderas, Kenneth Branagh, and most importantly of all, Jeremy Clarkson.
Hey.
Which is funny because he looks at least 20 years older than all of them. It's like, spot the difference between actors who take care of themselves and Jeremy Clarkson, a guy who clearly does not give a fuck. Anyway, well, I'm trying to put this off as long as possible, but I guess we better assemble the bar so we can talk about this movie, shall we?
I suppose we could.
All right, let's do it. Well, welcome to the bar, everyone. The Little Platoon, Paul Chato, and the Angry Badger. Gentlemen.
Thanks for having me. It's been a while.
It's good to have you back. Yeah, we're gathered here today to commiserate the death of the Tron franchise.
For the record,
it was inevitable.
I like Tron Legacy, and I had a suspicion of every horrible thing they were going to do, and you've all confirmed it for me that, yeah, I'm never going to get the follow-up to ISOs or Korra or Sam Flynn.
Nope.
Oh, you got no idea, bro.
Yeah. Wait until we get into
They went all in.
Maybe you guys can help me out on this one. What was the point of this movie? I'm genuinely perplexed by this one.
Corporate said, we need to keep this franchise going. So who wants it? And then some poor fucker they dragged in off the streets, like put a pen on a piece of paper, and he was probably high. He may have had half a brain, and he turned the script around and they said, I don't get it. That'll do. Off we go.
That's what it feels like. It really does. I just feel like nothing was really accomplished in this movie. I didn't really, it didn't really have an idea or a theme that it was trying to push. I guess it was just a concept movie of, wouldn't it be cool if the machines from the Tron world could come into our world? Because that's like literally the only thing they haven't done yet.
Yeah.
Which for that premise, they didn't exactly do much of any interesting things with it. For a moment, you get like, what a car chase, but with the Tron cycles, light cycles, and you're like, okay, you don't really do a lot with it. And there's loads of questions as to the ethics for the two characters fucking everything up. And then, of course, the corporation behind it being obviously that it's their stuff. And then, yeah, I was watching it and just being like, you guys are going to get in all kinds of trouble, right? And then all the characters like, you're going to get in all kinds of trouble, right? And the main tech bro being like, nah, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And then he gets in huge trouble and runs away. I was like, right. Which, by the way, I don't consider this a spoiler, but I was fucking shocked they referenced Sark at the end.
Oh,
where did that even come from?
I was just like, wow, why would that even? That's such a like glup shitto thing. Like, why would that be important that he's Sark? It's what?
It's a precursor to the next movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's
going to be the villain of the second movie. It's like, okay,
let the slop bandwagon commence. I mean, they obviously think this is going to be some epic beginning to a cinematic universe of Tron. Help me out as well. So the premise behind this is it's kind of widely known now for some reason that you can just use these bullshit magical laser things to just manifest things from the machine world, whether it be trees or
I have one here.
Machinery, or machinery, or in this case, like actual physical beings with sentient, cognitive abilities, but they have a lifespan of 29 minutes. And if they go beyond that, then they just de-res and evaporate.
Is there a reason?
There's no reason.
No, because it didn't. At the end of Tron Legacy, Sam shuts down the grid. The only one of those digitizers is in his dad's office below the arcade. And he leaves with Korra, who's the ISO, the last of her kind, who has that triple helix DNA, is going to change everything we know.
We're not doing
whole
that.
Thing was he was gonna come through the portal with the master disc, and there was no half-life for them.
They steal that payoff for themselves at the end of their movie. Everything changes. They have amazing technology and revolutions from what they do with this movie.
They try and play that very, very safe because they, on the one hand, there's a news report which says, oh yeah, we're using this new technology to do a couple of kind of interesting things, but also the world isn't really ready for all of the really interesting new things we can do, so we'll save that for another movie, much like Tron Legacy did, very much leaving the door open to retcon itself out of existence, which this one functionally serves as a retcon. Like you can't really make sense of these movies in continuity.
I do like this statement here. Like 90s Lara Croft, 29 minutes is more than enough with her.
If we can, what the Star Wars sequels did, though. They just reset everything and made them do it again. Oh, fuck.
If we could just be clear for the good old audience as well as just anybody who's trying to catch up, this film opens. I'm not even kidding. You smash you into this. They're like, Sam Flynn, you know him. Yeah. Character from Legacy who ends it with an enormous open door as to what's going to happen next. Resigned. Personal reasons.
Just
two lesbians have taken his place at EdCobb.
They're not lesbians, they're sisters.
Oh, whatever.
Are you going to flash
I could tell you were paying attention.
Well, it doesn't matter because one of them dies of cancer anyway.
Both things can be true,
What I thought was funny was like they make a big deal about the relationship those two have, but you just get told about it, and then one of them's dead, and then at the end there's a photo of them. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Does it say how long? Like how long he's been?
Spoiler alert, or do you give a damn?
Do you think
does anyone
cares? Yeah,
I'm being pleasant.
That's fair. So I would just say that there's not much to spoil. Really, it's a very confusing, weird
There's
mess.
not much of a movie here.
Can someone tell me whether this was happening in our time or in the future?
I mean,
huge-ish. I mean, it's set after Tron Legacy. Kind of.
Good question.
But it doesn't say how long after. I mean, so someone has to have taken over the company and died in a span of time since Tron Legacy. I mean, it could still be current day.
We went from Sam saying, I'm taking back the company, Alan, and I need you there at whatever o'clock, to just he resigned.
Yep, and disappeared. And no one really spent very much time looking for him.
Did he go to an island?
We've got these new interesting people, really interesting people who've taken over from him, one of whom dies. And then it's like the death of the sister is sort of presented sometimes as the motive, because the basic idea is Eve, whatever the fuck her name is, I can't remember because she's not a character. She wants there's a race to find this thing called like the permanence code, is it?
Yeah.
I think it's called the permanence
code. So remember
code.
that problem that we set up earlier where they can only create objects that will exist for 29 minutes.
So like Blade Runner, but
allows them to exist
30 minutes
forever. How they actually manifest in the physical world and how they eat and drink and
see
crap. I don't know how that works.
There you go. There's.
How did
they just holograms? How are they physically presentable?
Well, presumably it rewrites atoms.
Did the 29 minutes apply to objects and people? Because they had a gun, right?
They create like a tree or something to test it. So presumably that would just evaporate as well.
Do you remember when they take Athena's gun because she left it behind, but she disintegrated? And I was like, wait, shouldn't that disintegrate as well?
No, that wasn't hers. That was created in the real world and given to her.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah,
I think maybe you zoned out a few times in this movie,
it's
which I don't
almost
blame
impossible
you for.
not to do.
Yeah, that I was just wondering what the rules were exactly, because you could make it such that object, like Terminator or something, where it's like there's different rules depending on when you create synthetic different things. I was just curious.
Well, I mean,
it begs all kinds of questions, because they create an orange tree to test it, and what if you ate one of the oranges and then it evaporated inside you?
Yeah.
So my headcanon is just like Star Trek with the replicator and transportation technology, a fancy thing that will rewrite atoms and material however you want to make it do that. But
sort of. I mean, sometimes it sort of presents almost as hard light. I mean, hard light is a thing you can see it in other science fiction concepts where you can sort of reconstruct light into solid matter and build objects out of it. And because of the way that they sort of crumble at the end, it looks kind of like what I would imagine that to be, but they never explain it. It's just a thing they can do, obviously.
Oh, it's a full headcanon. Yeah, they've never explained the mechanics.
Well, yeah, because what they do is say they create a person out of nothing. They're inside this cocoon thing, and then they just break out of it, and bits of stuff go everywhere,
it's
and then
like a
that's
3D
fully
printer?
formed
3D printed referencey,
yeah.
And there's so much that this movie could have done. Imagine these creatures experiencing just the real world for the first time, feeling sunlight on their skin or whatever. It's
like the end of Tron Legacy, which is
there's one tiny scene where literally it hinges on the villain being dumb as fuck because she's about to kill a plank of wood Eve. And then the sprinkler system goes off in the building that she's in, and she feels like rain droplets landing on her hand for the first time. And then she's like, "Oh, isn't this beautiful?"
And they
then,
kind of set it up with Ares, because Ares goes out on a mission into the rain, like, because the evil businessman, who you know is the evil businessman from the moment he's introduced, because he's the white evil businessman who runs the evil person company. So there's no like mystique around who these people are and what they are at all. So he creates a bunch of stuff as a tech demo for his investors. He doesn't tell them about the 29-minute limit. So they are very, very impressed by his ability to manufacture weapons and bring them from the digital realm into the real one. Ares goes outside and it's kind of raining, and he sort of observes the effect of the rain on him or something, and then reports back to his fellow programs what it feels like. That is pretty much the only thing they do about exploring the feelings of these programs being brought into the real world. It is kind of a replay from the Legacy B, but it's not anything like as sort of, it's not a payoff to anything really.
Is Mother Anastasia the main antagonist?
Yes, she is.
Oh my God, I didn't realize.
It's good to know that she still cannot fucking act to save her life.
It's about power. It's about power. She's very strong. I think she can.
The world of Tron is very patriarchal. Yes. Yeah, that's basically. By the way, just for the audience who are watching this and who haven't seen the movie, there's essentially two rival corporations vying for control of the Permanence Code. One is led by a straight white male who usurped power from the company from his much more competent mother. The other company is led by a Asian woman who's possibly a lesbian, according to MauLer. Who knows? Guess which one turns out to be the good guy, and guess which one turns out to be the bad guy. I'll leave it with you guys.
And I'm fucking bored of the childish tech bro idiot moron running around.
Yeah,
it's so boring.
It's in everything.
He is a carbon copy of the dude from Alien Earth, isn't he?
Wasn't he played by Cillian Murphy in Legacy? It was like an uncredited, but like the son of Dillinger.
Was that who? Is that the same character? Is that who that's
Julian? I assume that is the same. That's his younger brother, but like I thought they just actor changed him. But that is supposed to be Dillinger's son.
Check. I didn't know that. I was almost jump scared by Cillian Murphy when I rewatched Legacy. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know you were in this.
Yeah, that's supposed to be Dillinger's kid. So
isn't this Dillinger's grandson? Because his mother is Dillinger's daughter. So this is Dillinger's grandson, I think. I think they may have just forgotten about Cillian Murphy because God knows everybody else did. So like he's just there. He is basically Boy Cavalier from Alien Earth, and Boy Cavalier is just another version of the same character archetype we see over and over again. He is impossibly stupid, incredibly vain, very greedy, and he gets defeated by his own ridiculousness.
Severe ADHD as well, and he's just flipping out all the time. And you once again compare in an IP, because they've done this a million times. It's like, what was he like in Tron, the big company man? Obviously, you get David Warner playing like the CEO guy, but also Sark, but also he's the voice of the Master Controller. And they're all supposed to be assertive, confident with flaws, but like you understand motivations, that sort of thing. It's like, no, instead we got the fucking spaz going, blah, 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 I want to do this. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah.
Well, like the moment where what the fucking Jodie Turner-Smith takes off with her jetpack Iron Man suit on to go kill everyone, and he's like whooping and hollering like a fucking redneck at a cook-off. You're like, yeah, go, woo! And then like, Gillian Anderson, his mom, just comes in and slaps him because he's essentially gambling the entire future of their company on this completely sketchy mission with almost no chance of success.
He just didn't call for medical help for like an hour.
Ares' turn, I didn't understand. I don't know what motivated it.
Oh, didn't you see the bit?
Well, he explains it because literally every character explains everything that they do in this movie.
He goes into the data stream and he sees her face, and it says on the screen empathy response.
No,
and now he's good.
I get it, but
that's character journey.
I mean, so here's a question: as a person who wanted to be a physicist, I would have added this, but I don't think the audience would have necessarily appreciated it. So I'm just throwing this out. So we know why I can't put my finger through this. It's because of atomic, it's actually, atoms, the electrons repel. And this is really not a physical object, technically. This is technically completely hollow.
You vibrate at a different frequency.
Through, right? It can be passed through, sort of like in Buckaroo Banzai.
Like ghosts. Ghosts can go through it.
Yeah, so ghosts can go through it. So That's why we can sit on a chair, not because it's necessarily physical. It's just that it's got enough atomic structure that your ass atoms won't pass through the seat atoms. So
we've got distinct ass atoms.
Ass atoms.
That's a thing.
So you could explain the corporeal nature of Ares and these objects in the real world that way, that they are real, but they have a limited lifespan. But if they are created atomically, they could have they could have atomic repulsion, which is what creates the illusion of a physical object. If someone explained that obviously better than I just did, would that be of interest to you? Or
I mean, it could be made interesting, but this movie hasn't even got around to explaining a story yet. So, like,
I'm just asking.
It's 100% a valid question. I think I am genuinely baffled as to how Ares even functions in the real world.
That's
because
my point.
When you see him at the end, he's living amongst humans.
Yeah.
Like
he's
I
in
don't
a
even
cabana.
know. Yeah, and it's like I don't even know what he's made of. Does he have to eat? Does he have to sleep like a regular human? Like if he gets injured, will he bleed?
He has.
I don't know.
Have an ID.
He does bleed.
I don't even know what he's made of.
Insurance number.
No.
Well, he kind of asked some of these questions himself, and then he's like, "Well, next time."
That's for
there's always
mortality
been
writers to figure out.
A large degree of playing fast, and there's always been fantasy elements in Tron, and so like it wouldn't rank in my top 10 list of the reasons this movie is shit. Though I would agree it would be interesting to see an explanation like that. But if you think, why is there water in the grid? Well, water is described as just being an energy liquid. The sea of simulation is just liquid energy, and it's like, okay, you have to take some liberties because in the original movie that they are creating a kind of digitized fantasy world. It's not a physical world. It's not strict science fiction, but it's an imaginative leap to look at the pixels on the screen of Pong, which I think was the original like inspiration of Tron, and say, what would it be like to actually be inside the computer as these bits and these bytes sort of dance around each other. And that's kind of the romance of that film, and the technological progress they had to make to create those scenes, like really pioneering digital effects. Disney animators hated it because they thought it was going to put traditional animators out of work, and the people who created Pixar loved it because they thought, shit, it's a whole new art form that we can now experiment with. And I think the Pixar team actually gave writing input on Legacy, which is why there is a bit of character work that happens in that movie. With this one, it's junked a lot of the fantasy aspects, and it doesn't give you scientific explanations like the one you just described. But it's also junked all of the character stuff, and it's also junked all of the story stuff, and it has no interest in the fantasy world anymore, which is why it immediately wants to bring all the people from that world, which is more interesting, into a very boring version of our real one.
Yes.
So not only will you not get the great explanations as to how things work, but you also have no interest in why they should work because it's boring.
That's also, that's the problem. Like when you see this stuff manifest in our world, one, it looks goofy as fuck, and like I've got so many questions about how this stuff functions, but I'll leave that for now. But it is visually boring just to see like, oh, it's a light cycle going down a street in like fucking generic city somewhere in America,
Vancouver.
What's the appeal of Tron then? Tron is, as Platoon said, it's like a person being transported in a fantasy world. That's radically different from ours, visually very interesting. It's a digital fantasy world, but it's the same principle. It's something that's very different from where we exist. And it's got a great, unique visual style. I love that. And I think I like that much cleaner, more simplified version of the world of Tron that you got in the first movie, because it makes sense when it's essentially just a visual representation of data and programs interacting with each other. It would look like that. It wouldn't have water. It wouldn't have like all these complex pieces of architecture, or basically just look like our world, but with a bunch of neon strip lights stuck to it. That's kind of what it looks like in this film. And I think just Tron Legacy kind of suffered from that as well. It was a halfway house, but it had some of the same issues visually. I don't get the point then. I don't get the appeal of this film when it's basically just our world now.
Is Ares just a normal program?
Ares is he's a program. He is called Master Control, so he is written by Dillinger's grandson to be the new Master Control, who is also called Ares. But the Master Control program obviously was in control of the grid in the first movie, which is why it's called Master Control. It was a program written to be in control. Ares is not written to be in control of anything. He doesn't fulfill the same function as
Master Control is just like a title that he seems to bestow upon people.
It's so
because then he gives
weird.
it to Jodie Turner-Smith. It's like it's just whoever happens to be his favorite is now Master Control. What does that mean?
We watched the hilarious authority fumble happen. Basically, big evil boss man says, "Go kill the hero girl that we're supposed to like," and then Ares is like, "Sure, I'll do that." Walks out of the room, goes, "I'm not going to do it. Yeah, our guy, our boss, yeah, he's unavailable. He's not giving commands. You'll just do what I say, right?" And then fucking Athena's like, "I'm gonna go talk to the boss." He's like, "Wait, what?" He just goes like, "I made a miscalculation." I thought it was so funny.
A lot of the explanation, sorry, Paul, real quick. A lot of the explanation for why the city looks like it does in Legacy is because Clue took over and had a coup against Flynn and designed all that shit on his own, and so without any of the soul from. So there's at least a reason in that one. This one,
and there's the external reasons as well, because Kaczynski, who directed that movie, actually hired teams of real-world architects to build that movie. Like he built everything to make it look. That's why when Drinker said it's a halfway house, I mean it's true on basically every level with Legacy. It is a halfway house to the more like the realism that this current movie is interested in most. I say that advisedly. I like Legacy's look. I just don't necessarily like it as a Tron look. It sort of speaks that lack of interest in where the thing comes from and what it's supposed to represent. And yeah, there's an internal reason. The external reason is that the creator was asked by Disney to do a kind of Matrix-esque, post-Matrix at least, Tron movie. He said he didn't want to do that. He had his own ideas, but one of those ideas was creating this very real, developed version of a digital world that we saw in Tron. Whilst at the same time having it cut off from the internet because he didn't want it to be a story about the internet. But then, of course, where does all the graphical enhancement come from, and where's the development come from if the grid has been trapped behind Flynn's fucking arcade machines for years? It's like it doesn't make a huge degree of sense, but it's still very distinctive. Whereas this one doesn't make any sense and it's not distinctive. It's just shit.
And the thing is as well, I got no sense of like for lack of a better word, the culture or the society or the makeup of the world of Tron within this movie. It's just there visually. Mm-hmm. We get to see almost no one who's part of it, apart from just the handful of like basically assassins who are just like Ares. There's no sense of like what the I don't know, almost like the political situation is there. Is there a struggle for control? Are there different factions within it? There's nothing. Like, so again, like, what are we to take from this movie? It feels so small compared to the others.
It's worse than that Luc Besson movie. This reminds me of Luc Besson in many ways. The one with the twins. This is like a worse version of it.
Oh God, were there secret agents? Yeah.
No, was the twins the French movie? It was the French sci-fi movie with the model and her brother.
Yeah.
But my biggest concern, my biggest problem is that Tron 1 was a video game movie. You basically got sucked into the video game, and then you got to see all these components of the inside of video game that you would never see as a player. There's all this glue that's in there and these factions and shit happening. And that's what was fun. So in this particular case, if the premise was, oh, we're going to now bring the Tron video game into the real world, then they should be fighting it as if it's a video game. Then people should be dealing with it. They shouldn't just have suddenly these kaiju attacking that thing that the
big attack.
They were being attacked. It was basically a kaiju, a digital kaiju, and you had the jets that were firing at it. And the only thing we're missing were people going, ah! That's the only thing that we were missing. I mean, it was terrible. It's a very ill-conceived. I didn't know what was going on. I found it frustrating. There was no physics, no science,
no characters.
No game. There was no game in it.
I would genuinely
go ahead.
I was going to say, just from a like logistics point of view, I am baffled how those lasers were able to create something the size of the recognizer, which is clearly like 10 times the size of the building that it was building.
And even Dillinger even says at one point, he says, "No, don't. It's too big." And then
they acknowledge it,
and it's fine.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're doing it anyway.
Yeah,
all right,
sure.
I guess.
Because even in the first one, when they realize that he has the master disc and he's going to take that whole, he's like, and somehow he's figured out a way to do it. That's just their explanation. That somehow Clue figured out a way to take a whole invading army and big ass ship. At this point, you just have to lie and say it's taking matter from quantum space and just move along.
You do.
Because I
But yeah, like when you guys were making the point about character as well, like I don't identify with anyone in this movie because they don't have personalities, and I don't understand what anyone's motivation is. I don't understand even how they relate to each other because there's barely any connective tissue for any of it. Eve, I don't know who she is. I don't know anything about her really. She's kind of sad that her sister died, I guess. That's about all I got with her.
Lesbian.
Sure, yeah.
But all you need to know is that she's after the thing and she wants to use it for good, and this makes her good. And Dillinger is after the thing and he wants to use it for bad, and this makes him bad. What more do you need? That's perfect character writing right there.
I mean, because the thing is, like, again, there's an interesting moral paradox that you could explore with this about the ethics of creating matter from nothing, and like, does it have sentience? Like, say you create like more people like Ares to fight in wars that they don't understand, or to like perform dangerous tasks or whatever, but they are sentient life forms. What does that mean in terms of like our ethical considerations for them? Or just like, what can it do to the world if you're able to manifest food or precious minerals or something that are extremely rare? Now we can just make infinite numbers of them. What does that do to the global economy? There's a million different things you could explore with this. This movie does none of it, though. I think we get a brief epilogue saying like, hey, they've basically solved world hunger because they could just make food or trees.
No more hunger, no more sickness. We've solved all of those things. So that isn't that great.
What a fucking cop-out.
Which was supposed to be the first one when the ISO DNA was going to change everything. Did you see Bruce Boxleitner saying that they didn't even ask him to be in it? But please go see it, because if you don't go see it, there will not be another one.
Why would Tron be in Tron?
I know, it's so silly. It's not like they brought him back at the end.
They could have done a Hammer Industries. Like once the first experiment failed, or the first demo fell apart, where was the military again? Like, where did his money come from? Suddenly they disappeared. That entire plot went away. No one is yelling at him saying, we gave you all this money. We didn't expect these things to last only 29 seconds. What the fuck is going on? Like,
well, because he basically just doesn't tell them, and then the problem kind of goes away.
Yeah, I know. It's
that's all it is.
Stupid. I mean, but I like the way they handled it in Iron Man 2.
With Hammer Industries,
Hammer Industries.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, he's over promising, under delivering. And the military was still a presence and a tension point in that movie. And it motivated, what's his name, the Russian guy. So there was none of that. Like, something happened.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then, I mean, it would have been screwed even before then, though, because, I mean, as has been mentioned, so Dillinger does this big tech demonstration, so everybody knows what his tech is and what it looks like. And then his grand plan is to send two very obviously like his aligned people on light cycles to kidnap, and if all else fails, assassinate the leader of the company that everyone knows on the news reports is his rival. That's his plan. There is
no one will ever figure it out.
And then his justification is,
he
when
says
we have
will,
power to change
matter.
the world, it won't matter. People will forgive all my sins because of the things I'm able to give them, which is an interesting idea, which we don't explore at all. And I don't believe him, but that's what the movie seems to think is good
Certainly
enough.
doesn't
But
happen.
for light cycles, those were pretty fucking heavy bicycles.
I was gonna ask a question about the light cycles, right? Okay,
they were heavy cycles.
Well, okay, so they're capable, just like they are in the Tron world, of projecting like a beam of light behind them, and wherever they drive, the light just kind of follows them, right?
Right.
So they can do this in the real world and somehow manifest it, and it will just cut cars in half and shit.
Right.
But it doesn't leave. It seems to be persistent. And so my question is, like, does that just stay there now forever? Like, are there entire city blocks that you can't?
It's like
down?
Spider-Man's webs; they dissolve after 20
go.
or 30 minutes. Yeah.
Who knows? They
just break down.
Yeah, but they kept giving us wide shots of like the whole area of the city, and I was like, why are they not fading? They're still there. Like,
and also, like, why isn't there such a bigger response to all of this, given that it's a major city, loads of traffic, all these, and no one can move anywhere anymore? You see a couple of cars sort of slowly try and avoid them, and there's one car that gets sort of cut in half. But that's it. Like, nothing else in the world reacts to what's happening. The police aren't there until the chase is over. There's no military response, no investigation, nothing happens.
So disappointing.
And it's just there, and it's, you're also like lulled into this weird soporific state, funnily enough, by the soundtrack. The reviews that came out before this movie was for general release they all said roughly the same thing, right? It's like, it looks incredible. Soundtrack by Nine Inch Nails is amazing. Story's a bit light, but it deserves to be seen in IMAX. You can see 5,000 versions of that tweet from various different people. The soundtrack to this movie, it might work on its own. Maybe if you like Nine Inch Nails, you'll get a kick out of listening to it when you're not watching the movie. It really doesn't help the movie. In fact, it probably works against the movie because it doesn't track. To be fair, there's not many emotional beats to track in the movie, right? There's not much thematic stuff going on. But even then, the soundtrack is there to be cool, and that's kind of it. Yeah. There's maybe one moment when it tries to do something emotional. Otherwise, it's just this constant thrum. And I was sitting there listening to it and watching the movie and just fading out because like the soundtrack is not calling attention to anything on the screen, which is the opposite in the case with Legacy. The reason so many people cite that soundtrack, it's not just because it's Daft Punk, and it's not just because it is a really good soundtrack. It does work very well on its own. But like that soundtrack does understand what the movie's trying to do, and it's quite an emotionally rich soundtrack. Like there's a lot of variation in it. It tracks the beats of the film, calls attention to the stuff you're supposed to be looking at.
You can hear it and see the entire movie playing. Like it fits perfectly.
Legacy has a story.
This is a double punch because it would be one thing if they just partitioned off Sam and Cora and like hinted that they went away to do something super important and then told a good story, but they've screwed them over, a la Luke Skywalker, and it's a bait and switch because instead of Leto the whole time, it's Greta Lee and Jodie Turner-Smith.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Leto does get like a lot of narrative time devoted to him.
Does he?
It's
just they're the A and B.
Which seems to be like
because like he's
a producer, so this is his like baby to an extent. I think he wanted this film to help his image. He's like I'm a stoic action man who goes from being like an abused program to a hero in a world where it's like this and Morbius, I guess, his attempts of being like, come on, guys, like me.
Notice me. The thing is, like, he's not, I'm hesitant to praise him too much, but like, he's not terrible in this movie. I think if he'd been given a better script to work with, he could have done something with it. Like some of his scenes are kind of okay from a performance point of view. It doesn't ask a huge amount of him because he's a stoic, relatively emotionless machine that's been made flesh.
Jeff Bridges.
Why does this character have a beard?
Because beards are cool, Paul.
Beards suck. Ooh.
I want to say though, like Gillian Anderson is fucking wasted in this movie.
Why is she in this movie?
I don't know. I really like her. She's a good actress. She was one of my first crushes on screen, and she's just there's no reason for her to be here. She's there to just like be a sounding board, I guess, for Boy Genius, and then she just fucking dies. And that's
it takes her a while to die, though. I thought it was kind of amusing. He tries to stop the bleeding. He clearly cares, and then he's like, never mind.
I honestly thought she had died already, and then he's cradling her in her arms, and she's like, she comes back to life again. She's like, this is all your fault, motherfucker.
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, I'm just very badly injured.
Is the Jeff Bridges scene at least all right, or is that disturbing too?
It's just like it's proof. It's proof that one, Jeff Bridges is really fucking old now, and two, he'll do a lot for a paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, he has a role in Legacy. Like he's important to that movie. He's important to the themes of the movie as well as the character of the movie. Obviously, it's kind of a movie about him, sins of the father, overcoming those, the flaws of your own creation, all of that stuff, which makes Legacy is not a brilliant movie by any means, but it has some content. In this movie, he says vague things about, permanence is kind of impermanent, and that's maybe you should just live.
Okay. He says man a lot as well because he's from the 80s. It's like
they talk about Depeche Mode. They really like Depeche Mode. There's two conversations about Depeche Mode.
Radical man.
My God, he does have a beard.
Some of the lines to me felt like he read them off a page. Like he didn't really know what they meant. I was like, oh.
He did the Brando and he just had cards behind them.
He probably had a fucking like earpiece just reading them the lines. Like, just say this. Put some gravitas into it, Jeff. It'll be fine. Then collect your paycheck and go home.
But like all the characters have that problem though. I mean, Gillian Anderson particularly, because we know she is a really, really good actress, and just hearing her deliver those lines with this sort of flat, fucking
she like it was the same line every scene. It was hey, stop doing this. Hey,
you're doing dangerous stuff.
Hey, stop doing this.
And everyone could program in this goddamn movie. What was the Indian guy doing? I couldn't figure it out. I'm watching, going, okay, he's hitting the keyboard, he's hacking something.
He was hacking the mainframe.
They learned to code.
For what purpose? I didn't see the
I was actually going to ask you guys
of his actions.
So they had to get into Dillinger's mainframe so they could crash it and stop the, all of the programs like fucking Athena from regenerating if they get de-resed in the real world. How do they do it? I don't fucking know.
That's their grid that they've crashed, and then he ends up in that grid and then gets turned into Sark, which, like I said, I still don't even know what the fuck they thought they were doing with that. I was just like, what?
Yeah,
Why did
reverse laser it had? You know what's terrible?
Laser.
Flat glass keyboards.
Yeah.
Please. I mean, Hollywood, no one who does this for a living likes non-tactile keyboards.
You need haptic feedback basically when you're hitting keys, and like it's almost as bad as like fucking the later Star Trek stuff where they're just hitting holographic keyboards that are just floating in midair.
That reminds me
you can't even feel what you're touching. It's going to be like ridiculous.
It was a callback, wasn't it? Because it isn't in the original Tron. There is the big desk where he interfaces with Master Control. And I think there's a flat, but then you can kind of forgive that back in, is it 19? When did the first Tron come out? I want to say 82.
82, I think. Yeah, I think it was 82.
And at that time, you can say that is like the height of the future. That's understandable. That is that generation's idea of what the future of tech convenience will be. We now have flat like screens and non-haptic keyboards, and we know that they're horrible. So can we stop doing that? Go back to Alien and have.
Do you guys remember when they made Prometheus? They fucked with all the technology to make it hyper modern, even though it's a fucking prequel. And then now, when they make the films, they're like, "No, we'll copy exactly what Alien set in play."
I have a lot of problems with Alien Earth, but Jesus, they at least tried to show the tablet going into the old timey, like there was at least an attempt to make it look older.
I think most people would probably concede the production design on Alien Earth is generally pretty solid, pretty good.
Because otherwise, why don't they have flat screens everywhere? Right, like they couldn't predict what we would have.
Yeah, and like, but there's probably degrees of technology. So if you're on a cargo freighter, you're probably not going to have super advanced interfaces. It's going to be very rough and ready stuff. But
the Prometheus stuff was just like, what the hell is this? This is just a completely different universe, and it was all holograms and glass, whatever. It's just like
Hollywood insists on see-through monitors.
Star Trek 09, where it looked like the Apple Store on the Enterprise. And
it's grim.
Minority Report pulling these things out of
somehow that still had like the hand. I don't mind that one still. Well, that one is cool.
Remember Iron Man, right? That was
cool. He had I did like holograms.
That worked. Iron Man worked because he was actually physically creating objects. It wasn't typing a screenplay.
Before everything was nanotech. That's what ruined Iron Man, is him
don't get me
guys
started.
Like gadgets. Come on.
Don't get me started.
I want gadgets again and stuff.
Gear porn.
Gear porn.
You talked about gear porn and how important it is, especially for a male audience. It's they appreciate machinery, computers, technology. It's cool. That's why people, not the only reason, but it's one of the many reasons that the first Iron Man movie was so popular. Watching him just tinker with machinery to actually create the suit.
Stan Winston and
guys
like
F1
when the helmet for the Mark III slams down, everyone remembers that moment and hears it, in their head.
Yes.
I like my gear. It's one of the things that Star Trek completely ignored because it was made by lesbians and they don't care.
Yeah. I think I think it was Echo Chamberlain who pointed out as well, like, the design of the bridges on Star Trek, right? In the older movies and TV shows, it was very like, it was functional, but it was also very like intimate and almost cozy looking. Yeah. Like the consoles and everything were quite close together, and you got a sense of like, this is a space that every square inch has a purpose, right? Then you get to the modern stuff, and for some reason, the bridges and the control rooms become these huge cavernous spaces. Yeah, but like there'll be like two consoles like here on either side of the room, and nothing in between them, and it's just this enormous space, and it's usually really dimly lit and bleak and dark and depressing, and it makes no sense. It's the most like inefficient layout of any sort of control room for any spaceship you could imagine.
And they're so modern that when they get hit, they still have conduit with wires that fall out of the ceiling.
They do. There's usually sparks
everywhere.
Sparks. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, just a brief whinge on Star Trek. One of the things that bugs me is that they have they live apparently in a society of unlimited budgets and money from a building perspective. Whereas what's one of the things I liked about the first Alien movie where the premise was that this was like a B-52, but in space, where it was cramped and you couldn't have. I mean, this was run by a mining company. They weren't going to spend a shit ton of money on making it a comfortable ship, so you had corridors, and it was as compact as it could be because that's what made sense from a financial perspective. There's no one talks about, oh man, that's going to come out of your paycheck. You know, I mean, there's nothing like that in a lot of the modern stuff.
Yeah.
It bugs me.
Or you get Alien Earth, where they pretty much just steal all the dialogue from Alien, or try to repurpose it, and then still do shit.
Put it through a lens of like retardation, and this is what you end up. May we answer a few super chats just before we move on from the wonderful world of Tron?
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Let's see the first one here. Blankface says Tron 1 is a pretty basic story and is essentially a tech demo that helped revolutionize film technology and CGI. Tron Legacy was the visual fulfillment of what the first movie was, and it had a bomb-ass soundtrack from Daft Punk. Tron Ares is, well, the third movie in this franchise.
Yeah. But even then, I mean, the first Tron, it is a basic story. That's correct. It is a better AI story than this movie, and this movie is supposed to be about AI. Like that's kind of what it leans towards.
Yeah. They don't even bother.
In the first Tron movie is it's kind of a useful current day thing. You know, it's a program. It grows out of something simple. We use it for simple purposes, but then we give it more and more power. It gains consciousness. It takes more control. It starts using the systems we built against us, and in the end, it has to be taken down by the infusion of humanity into the realm where it's supposed to dominate. And that's like thematically, it's not massively complicated, but it's there and it's interesting, and it still kind of works today. Whereas this movie says occasionally things about creating artificial beings and life, and then it has nothing to say about them. It's just words that it throws into the script because it needs dialogue in a scene.
Yeah, and the best way I can put it is like the original Tron stuck with me in a way that Tron Legacy never did. Like I can picture scenes very vividly from the original Tron. I can picture the characters, and as you mentioned, like the sort of fairly universal themes of like the importance of humanity, the dangers of artificial intelligence, our ability to overcome things that machines would struggle with just because of our ability to like be creative. That's something that you can at least grapple with, and there's something interesting there. With Tron Legacy, it was just kind of forgettable for me. I didn't feel like it added much to the overall mythos of Tron. Not to say like I hated it, or it was just meh, pretty forgettable. This is just complete empty shell of a nothing story.
Give it another go, especially with the 4K re-release. I think if anything, Tron Legacy will get a glow up, and in the future, when someone says the Tron movies, people will say there's only 2 Tron movies. It'll be one of those type of things.
I think it's pretty hilarious, though, on that note, that when it comes to Tron, all 3 films are about our universe is slipping into a dystopian nightmare with AI, but at the end, it's extremely hopeful for the future. Like, all 3 do that, and then all 3 it just crashes and burns at the end of each one, apparently.
Yeah. Here's one. Daily Dose says, so in Legacy, they could have just let Clue get out because Kevin knew he'd only exist for 29 minutes. Also, Cora died right after the end of the movie, and Sam never went back. I love modern slop additions to old franchises.
I think there is a photograph of Cora in this at the end, so like she's still here and out there somewhere. And Jared Leto has that line about, "I get the sense I'm not alone, but the world isn't ready to see us yet." And it's like, so she's still there. The 29 minutes thing. I mean, you have to sort of headcanon a difference, but like obviously in Legacy they need to get Flynn's disc to get out, and obviously now there's this different there's the permanence code, which is a different thing. So maybe if they had the disc, it would serve as the permanence code. I don't know.
They can argue she's not applicable because of the ISO thing, but they could also argue that the 29 minutes thing is just the tech that Boy Cavalier copy has. You know, like that's just whatever.
I hated that. I hated that 29 minutes thing. Just that. Wild. Yeah. The opening thing too, with all the AI kind of announcers and stuff. Oh, good.
The only time it's interesting is when like Athena has been resurrected like a few minutes after Ares, and so she knows that he's going to expire like a couple of minutes before her, and then she's got the ability to attack Eve without him to protect him. Like they could have done something with that, but again, it's such a simple aspect of the movie that's just glossed over and it goes nowhere. So
I just thought it was kind of amusing as well, because he's running at her, just beeline, and it's like she's just gonna move to the left or right. She's flying, bro.
Why didn't understand why he leapt at her.
And then Eve just like intercepts him anyway, and like
Yeah,
zaps
gets him
into the spirit
anyway.
world. And I was getting Rose Tico vibes from that for some reason.
Ah.
It's like, I can't have the straight white male making a sacrificial, like heroic moment. Gotta interrupt that shit. And it's another Asian lady who does it. Funnily enough,
And I
It's
didn't know what
weird.
he was trying to do. What was it? What was
He was
the
going to jump on
point
her
of
and kill
him?
her so that she couldn't kill them, but then she would just be sent back anyway.
Yeah.
Correct. Same with
Which
him.
is, by the way, when she re-arrives, I love the characters being like, "Oh, Athena's come back." It's like, yeah, you knew that was a thing. Why did you didn't
just keep that forever?
That's a little Cylon-y too. They die and they just go back and they're reborn in a new body.
Yep.
And
good, yeah, because she gains the ability to just resurrect herself without even direct control from the outside.
Self-resurrection. It's a little masturbatory, but all right.
Well, yeah, but this thing, like the movie would have had perhaps more thematic impact if Ares had died at the end, like sacrificed himself to save a human life because he recognizes that they're more important, a la Blade Runner or whatever.
And if he's just a program, when he's put into the real world as like an actual factual human, not built, whatever, wouldn't he just be just a normal human as opposed to Korra has the ISO DNA? That was supposed to be the revolution.
Who knows? The writers of this movie never thought about any of that stuff.
You know,
I guarantee you they didn't.
On the note of just developing AI and how they just don't want to talk about it, but they still want to do it. It's when he says a bunch of questions in like the first act, and the Boy Cavalier Man is like, "I'm curious why you have curiosity," and I was already like, "Bro, he's fucked. The program's fucked. It's already asking questions like you need to get rid of it. You need to do something." Yep. It's not until he betrays him. He's like, "Man, I'm starting to have second thoughts about you." It's just like, take your time, bro.
And it's so funny as well because it's like this super advanced AI, but he still has to communicate with it by text, just by text input on a keyboard.
Yeah.
But he's ranting and raving to himself like he's having a conversation with him, but then he has to like calm down and like type out his response.
Yes.
Why
can't he use voice command? What's wrong with voice command?
Yeah, there's like at this point, voice recognition is pretty fucking solid.
Yeah.
You could easily do that.
Well, you could just plug it directly, as in, right? Like it would just play exactly what you're saying.
On an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Yell at your subordinate. 1A, 1A,
yeah.
1A. I couldn't. I'm sorry.
Or project a holographic image of Ares into the room with him so that you can communicate with him directly.
I didn't understand it. And there were no VR goggles at all.
There were not, no.
When she spawns herself and then kills his mum, and he's like, "How is any of this happening?" And she just says, "You gave me a directive to do anything. That's how that works now."
Yeah,
it wasn't even like her going evil or her having self-awareness or her developing it's just she just had a directive that you just didn't apparently give her rules, like don't
even
kill.
That's
he
a
used the
rip-off
words
of
by
Legacy.
any means necessary, and so she did it by any means necessary. But then when he told her to stop, even though he gave her the directive, she's like, nah.
Well, that's how Clue takes over in Legacy. He goes, "Kevin Flynn, am I still to create the perfect system?" Realizing that Flynn and the ISOs are not perfect in his mind. And he goes, "Oh, I am? Okay. Skynet. Oh, you want me to make you safe? Well, you guys are the biggest threats to yourselves. So to protect you from yourselves, I'll just end you." It's the same.
Well, if you remember, though, I will say Platoon, I don't know if this was intentional. I'd have to check, but he loses his, thanks to the board, in that very moment, he loses his power, and then it says, access denied. Is the idea there supposed to be that inconveniently, she declares he's lost his power as CEO the moment that his program goes rogue?
Yeah, so I thought they've locked him out of the system, and up until the point in which he gains access to it again because he needs it for the sequel. But
right.
I thought Athena had locked him out of it.
I thought it's because he lost his power because the board voted him out. Which is just extremely convenient that it would happen at that moment.
Time timer just goes.
Next one up here is from Will Dreamer for $100. Thank you, sir.
Wow.
Some of you respect good fan fiction and all love Tolkien, so here's a plug for my short story on AO3. The Children of Rohan is Helm's Deep's from the POV of the youngest recruits. Features respect between humans and elves, genuine heroism, and deep love of the books and films. Well, there you go.
There you go. Worth the $100.
Children of Rohan, everyone. There you go.
Hopefully, the Aragorns. It's a good sword, even though it's clearly not a good sword. Like,
hey man, we're gonna keep him encouraged, even with shitty swords.
Yeah.
like swinging it around, and like the blade just falls off it. It's a good
Yeah.
sword.
A lot of rust on that sword, son.
Might want to take it to the blacksmith.
Yeah.
And he survives the war, but comes back to Aragorn after it. Like, you told me this was a good sword, you dick.
It's a piece of shit sword.
It's all bent.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I just thought it was. Sorry.
Remember in Tremors, like Melvin, he gets given a gun near the end, and he like tries to shoot it at the graboids, and it's like empty.
Bert, you
And,
piece of shit! It's not even
yeah,
loaded.
there's
Got you
no
moving
bullets
though,
in this-
didn't it?
Exactly, yeah. That's great, that bit.
That's a good movie.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
What's up?
Rod Thunderheart. This is
Wow.
500 Canadian dollars, which I'm reliably
Wow.
informed is real money. Hail Critical Drinker. Always loved your vids. I'm pushing my book, See Through Love. Believe it or not, it's a romance, martial arts, sci-fi, comedy, drama, and spy thriller. It's a hell of a combination, man. Friesen Press is cheapest. A Spanish teacher who can become invisible when angry is shocked to discover a new gym teacher can see her when invisible. Find it at Friesen Press. There you go. Everyone's got their stuff that they're working on at the moment, but yeah.
People have been giving it good reviews.
Yeah, I love how it's romance, martial arts, sci-fi, comedy, drama, and spy thriller,
and
it's
cookbook.
It's an omnibook.
It's an omnibook. That's right.
Fraser McGowan. The best parts of Tron Legacy are the scenes with Olivia Wilde and Serinda Swan in skin-tight latex.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't seen the new Tron, but I seriously doubt Disney will allow that again.
Oh,
yeah, no, they didn't.
They're in armor. They're fully armored up, and you see nothing.
So depressing.
Yeah, there's a bit of shapiness to what's her name from Acolyte?
Mother Anastasia.
Oh, Athena.
Athena. Yeah, there's a bit of shapiness to her.
You have to use a lot of imagination.
But there's no cutout boobage.
No,
exactly.
That's too patriarchal.
Also, Badger, you're responsible for forgetting that name. Okay, Anastasia, you gotta flush it. It's important for your own psyche.
Yeah,
don't think so about bad that I still know about Jord Vandar, and I saw them all at our discount stores here for like $6 each. It was great.
I'm so sorry.
I'll try and purge it.
I did like this one as well. Demon Slayer beat out all the new movies this year. I tried to watch it, but the version I had was the wrong language.
No,
I'm working on it. I do want to watch it.
Just learn the language. It's worth it.
Well, it turns out like you have to download the the subtitles separately. And when I was doing it, they were completely out of sync with what was on screen. So yeah, I could do something crazy like go to the cinema, but try.
I've heard about that. It's like a building for movies or something, right?
It's an option apparently.
Public.
There's fewer adverts for Indian gambling websites as well when you go there, I'm told. So anyway, Big T says the cancelled
Erection cream.
Yeah, AC Civil War game makes me wonder what was Gamergate. All I know of it are those Anita and Brianna chicks from and Sweet Baby Inc. But I don't know what started it all. I wasn't on socials when this started, and I don't know where to start looking. I mean, this is weird because I was totally not active on social media when the whole thing blew up.
Just watch like 3 different videos that summarize it from 3 different sources, and you'll probably get a good picture at this point.
Long and short of it, it's an unhealthy relationship between gaming companies and gaming journalists and manipulation therein. But that canceled Assassin's Creed game, that was like a year ago. Like it was after.
Depending on who you ask, one might say it was about integrity in gaming journalism, and someone else might say it was a campaign of misogyny to destroy the sexes or something.
Well, that was the news.
Carefully neutral there, MauLer. I appreciate that.
You can guess which one I would say it was about.
It started off as 2 people having a tiff, and then one person accused the other person of sexual improprieties, and there was no necessarily proof of that, but then that got leaked out to the mainstream papers, and the mainstream papers, as you know, every year they do one of their articles on how Call of Duty turns kids into killers, right? There was a mandatory piece every year. Games turn children into assassins, and it just happened to coincide at the same time where the mainstream media was happy to pick up on the bad stuff. However, it was also partly the gamers' fault because game culture was really nasty. I mean, they took no prisoners. It was part of the fun, quote unquote fun. Yeah, there was a segment of complete morons who didn't treat people particularly well, and they fell into the trap.
That creates character, Paul. Call of Duty and Halo, fucking private
Paul,
rooms.
they're making a comeback, Paul. They're on their way back.
Yeah,
they separated the men from the
Get
boys.
good, scrub.
Sure. It launched a lot of YouTube careers, though. There's people who came out of that era who are still
man. Do you remember Matt Jabo, great YouTuber, came out of Gamergate with? I can't keep that going.
I don't know that one.
Fuck me, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
And yet,
Jesus.
Chat will all be happy I've referenced him. The Boulder King.
The Jarbinator.
That was essentially Gamergate, and the more not base, but the more unsavory elements of how people talk to each other during group games that leaked out to the press, and the press ate it up, and that's it. That's Gamersgate.
The second one myself, because it never really ended. And then some of those people used the funds they got to make a bunch of companies like Sweet Baby Inc. and others that then heavily influenced. And then we saw the second part of that Gamergate too.
Anna Serrano or whatever her name was.
We don't speak their name like
no, sorry.
Yeah, it's like Voldemort.
Taboo on their name.
That's right. It became an industry.
Yeah. It did.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It did.
Last minute hero says, I finally understand why you get blank super chats. It's idiots like me who hit purchase before typing a message. Anyway, forgot my question, so cheers.
Cheers.
It always like leaves me scratching my head, because sometimes you'll get like a $50 super chat and there's nothing in it, and you're like, okay, thanks.
Feel free to say anything.
It's like, you've got my time here. Like, ask me something, I guess. Here we go as well. Thank you, Drinker, for introducing me to Little Platoon's channel. This question's for Platoon. Favorite South Park episode and why? Cheers to Drinker, MauLer, and Bar. Platoon is a national treasure, and it's a pleasure to have him here, as always.
Least valuable national treasure. You can't sell me for much. God, I don't have a single favorite South Park episode. It's tricky. It's like, part of it depends on mood, and part of it depends on how well constructed I think they are, because the well constructed ones aren't always the funniest ones, but I kind of appreciate what they do. So like Kenny Dies is quite a good one. The fucking Margaritaville, which is one of the best descriptions of Keynesian economics you will find in any media. And I don't particularly agree with that economic philosophy, but it's a good description of it. Then there's some of the more like punchy satirical ones, which are very much sort of up to the minute. But I also really like seasons 1 to 3. I know the creators don't, but I like how random and stupid they are, but they're creating the town as they go, which is very funny.
I would pick Make Love Not Warcraft.
Great choice. Yeah.
Oh, is that the one where they're shitting on their own chairs and stuff? It's like, ooh, that's a big one.
Mom, poopy, or whatever he said.
Oh, God.
I think they thought that one was going to completely flop. Trey Parker thought that was a really shit episode. He got real stage fright about it, I think I'm right in saying. And then it came out and is now deservedly one of the most popular episodes ever, because it's just great.
Well, anyway, I guess we should move on from Tron Ares, because I think we could all do with some break from that.
So that's
I have to watch it tonight.
Recommendation for the panel, yeah? Everyone recommends it?
Oh,
sure, yeah. Go and watch it, but don't pay for it.
Don't watch
it. It's out of the frying pan and into the excrement encrusted fire here. The Witcher Season 4, they've released another trailer for it. And it's got absolutely slaughtered. I don't know. Have you guys seen the latest trailer for this one?
Yeah, they made me watch it on Real BBC.
I'm sorry about that, MauLer.
So you're gonna make me watch it again, aren't you?
Well, I might do, yeah. I'll go through a couple of the top comments on it, just because I think they're amazing. What have we got here? The first one of the best ones, I think, is the Fairest saying, "Remember, guys, it's not Liam's fault; it's the producers." Yeah, that's fair. Don't hate on Liam Hemsworth.
He's taking a paycheck.
Yeah, applause for Netflix for leaving the comments section open. Yep.
It's also the weakest Hemsworth, though. Sorry, Liam.
He is.
I'm sorry.
I described him as the Hemsworth you hire when you can't get Chris.
Do you have the downvote add-on where you can see how many downvotes it has?
I do, but I don't have it on. I don't have it open in Chrome right now.
73,000 downvotes to 16,000 upvotes on the Netflix channel one.
That is one brutal ratio.
Do you guys rate the Quaid brothers also?
Yes.
So where do you rate them?
Damn. Dennis is probably better, but Randy's based.
Dennis is better. Yeah. Geralt losing his signature rough voice is one of the most painful parts of this. There's a quote here from the trailer. "Let's fucking move." That's pretty not how I remember Geralt of Rivia. Yeah. All you had to do was follow the books. It's Yennefer and Friends, season 4. I'll put it up here so you guys can see it. I'll try and the studio really fucking hard on this stuff, so I'll try not to get a copyright strike here.
All the women are sword wielders of great
the image Gary put out where it was that collection of people, and it's like, once again, have no idea what show this belongs to.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, you want me to this was the image.
Did you see the other one that has like Rings of Power and Wheel of Time and Blood Origin? They all look the same.
Wait, would you like me to show you? Here you go.
Oh my god, yeah, they all look the same.
This is fantasy. No, it's fucking garbage.
Isn't
I
it
hate
funny that
Hollywood.
They would all
you guys
claim,
for making this stuff.
They would all claim like this is original, groundbreaking, all that stuff. And it's like, you're all the fucking same. You don't do anything different.
Not only can you not differentiate people within the different locations of one particular show, you can't even differentiate the fucking shows from each other now.
Top right is Willow, right? That you can't even find anymore.
The only reason I know it's Willow is because of Ginger Jesus.
Freckle Jesus, Ginger Jesus. Yes, that is how I recognize it as well.
The bottom right is Blood Origin, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the one on the bottom left? Is that Wheel of
Time? That's Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
I think the one on the top left gets the most diversity points because it's got a great big fat bastard in it there.
Who's letting him on the fucking wagon? You are walking the entire time and you stay away from the food stores.
I just think that the association of wool knitters and fabric makers are very happy with these series.
Careful, knitters. That scared me for a second.
It's just yeah.
I said knitters.
Hard are though? Oh my god.
Lots of wool.
The costume department must have had a pretty limited budget for all of these shows. It's like, what can you pick up at Walmart? Just go for it, man.
They have the same facial expressions.
Really bad Dungeons and Dragons game. Like that seems to be what Fantasy all is. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Dungeons and Dragons movie looks very similar to this, which is not a slight against people who play D&D, because I know actually there's a lot more imagination that goes on when you play that game well. But I don't think any of these people have played it for more than like 5 minutes, and they seem to think it's the standard for all fantasy now.
Also worth mentioning,
they probably played Magic the Gathering and they think that's what dark fantasy should look like.
Dark fantasy.
Let me bring up the actual trailer here. God help us.
Oh no, MauLer.
Oh wait, that's not it.
Life is pain. That's all right.
I'm gonna put the one down.
Can't get out of it. Get into it.
The greater the suffering, the greater the peace.
Help us all, Lord. Pausing it for the obligatory, let's comment on this thing so that I don't get a copyright strike.
Obligatory. Henry looked better in his fighting stances. Sorry, I'm biased.
Yeah, he did.
Your entire being
should have gone with Randy Quaid.
To finding someone.
Oh my God, Lawrence Fishburne is the biggest offense to me because he.
Yeah, Lawrence.
If you know what Regis looks
till
like,
you see him. Yes,
he looks like he could not give a fuck as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what do you know? They have to find Ciri again because Ciri's the key to everything, and she's like super important, and she's under threat, but she can also take care of herself. Has that just been the plot for the past 4 seasons?
Yes. Yes.
Will you fear you failed?
Look at that. She don't need no Geralt to rescue her.
No.
Look at this.
Oh, Ciri.
Always lost, never found.
It's good that she's got eyebrows now. Season 1, she didn't, and that was very disturbing.
It's sad because this is a great, strong female character, and in the books, it's all explained. She's been trained by witchers, and she has got the elder blood, all the things. And when they do it, they make it the worst, fucking, most insufferable version that like takes all the.
Have to. Well, yeah, and like as far as I understand, Geralt basically got sidelined in season 3, and so it just became this Ciri and Yennefer story.
Too, but yeah.
Oh, terrible.
No wonder Henry left.
She's not who she says she is.
One of us.
There it is, the iconic shot.
I love the Chungus.
Yeah.
Like, what adventuring are you doing?
I want to see him. I want to see him do major stunts with a clear double, with a fat suit or something. It would be so awesome.
Or just like trying to climb up cliffs or something, just like failing horribly, bouncing down. I mean, you could use him as like a human shield, I guess. He's going to absorb a lot of punishment.
He must be so rich and powerful. Remember, like being fat was a sign because you could afford food. So he must be something really important.
He's super rich.
And they've done the thing for hair there as well, where I don't know if it's shaved, but the way they make like one side really short, you know.
Oh, the black chick, yeah.
Why are they they're obsessed with that hairstyle, like these shows.
That became a cliche like cool. Well, that became a cliche like 5 years ago, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, the fucking side shave. It looks really edgy and cool, doesn't it? And like it was like a sure sign you were having a social justice moment. And then yeah, they're still doing it, which is neat, I guess.
I think I prefer it to the ginger mullet though.
That's a powerful look she's got going on.
Obviously, a salon around.
That right there.
Need to get rid of him.
Yasuke, he is legit the most insufferable prick in the entire show. Every time he's on screen, I fucking hate him.
It's because of the song. Song from season 1 solidified his popularity for the rest of the series.
I just hate the actor. I don't hate the actor, but I hate what he's doing with the character as well. Like he just acts like he walked off the street from like central London or something in present day.
He's like a woman's man too. Hipster magician or something. When was the last time you went to see a film in the actual cinema, Drinker? Do you get that? There's like a guy who has like a cane and welcomes you to seeing the film. Do you know what I'm talking about, or is that just in Wales? It's like a little clip that plays just before the film actually starts. It's like, is everyone ready for the magic to begin? They say something like that, and there's a guy with a top hat and a cane. And I was just like, why do they play this clip? Who the fuck is this guy? Like,
I want to go to Wales and experience that.
You mean the guy with the van with the candies?
I'll see if I can find it. It's
promise me, MauLer, when I come down and visit you, you and I will go to the cinema, we'll hold hands, and we'll just experience the cane man.
Well, I just realized you'd be here, and I'd be like, all right, fuck it, let's just stay with a drink.
Oh, Jesus. All right, let's get through this.
To reclaim that. What a company.
Nope. Where was that?
He kind of tries to do the deep voice, but then when he does that like fucking move, he drops it, and it sounds so modern day of him just screaming it.
Is that an Asian? I was gonna say arsonist. Or
I found him. It was easier than I thought. Drinker. This guy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right. Hold on.
And people in chat. Someone
it's from the audience, so
yeah,
it should be.
He like.
Yeah. Sorry,
this fucking dude. And I was just like, why is this guy at the beginning of my movie all the time?
Wait, when you said like a guy with a cane, for some reason I pictured like an old timey, like Victorian looking guy with a mustache.
I said hipster magician.
No. When you said hipster magician, I thought you were referencing Yasuke.
Oh, well, it kind of was, but that's what made me think of this.
I wasn't following your train of thought in that case. So.
No, me neither.
My bad.
You lost me.
It's okay.
Are you able to show just because I was going to say if anyone?
Oh wait,
Pat will then realize I'm not insane that this is a real thing.
Well, can you add it into the main chat? I don't know if I can show it this way or what. I can share a screen actually. Yeah,
can your screen? Yeah,
we do have a female Asian archer.
Cool.
They're white adjacent now.
The good people of chat can probably tell us then if they recognize this. So yeah, let's bring up share screen and then share the whole thing. All right.
The tension.
Yeah. Where is it? Where's it gone? All right. There we go. You should see. Oh, I have to take this one out. I actually want to remove. And then boom. And.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yay.
Do you recognize that guy?
The people of chat, do they recognize this dude?
It would be Britain only, I think.
Yeah, you've been to an audience cinema.
What is that? Oh, I've never
Platoon,
seen.
Do you recognize
before.
this guy?
No, but then we've only got a view, and in view the screen goes black, and then a really loud man says, "Oi, turn your phones off!" in it, and then that's kind of it.
This is part of a montage, isn't it? Because there's like a bit of like a black guy in the audience like screaming because he's like, overwhelmed with how awesome the sound is, and then like, a woman who looks like she's going to spit her popcorn out.
And then you get this guy who's the cinema magician, I guess.
He's the magic of cinema, just giving it all of it to you. Anyway, I'll stop that now. It's like, wait, what's chat saying?
I saw 2 yeses in chat, so
well, it was totally worth it. It was worth
totally
interrupting everything.
The big thing with this Witcher trailer. Did you guys ever watch Spartacus back in the day?
Movie?
No, sorry. The show.
It's like wait. You couldn't find an image with better res. I didn't fucking provide the image. It was MauLer.
I mean, I
blame me for this one.
You can see the magician. That's all that matters.
Yeah, like Christ. Do you want to see every wrinkle on his face?
They had a guy named Andy Whitfield playing Spartacus in the TV show in the first seasons, and he unfortunately passed away, and they had to replace him. And no offense to the person that replaced him, but he did not have the same intensity in his eyes. He didn't have the same gravitas, and that's just not the character that I liked in the first season. And that's what I see when I see Liam. He just doesn't have the same. Plus, I'm biased by all the behind the scenes, but he just doesn't have the Geralt look and feeling and intimidation that Henry brought.
We should watch the first episode and judge then.
Oh, I'm going to watch the whole thing and punish myself, but I don't think I'll be shocked.
I just at this point I can't bring myself to watch The Witcher anymore. It feels like punishment. It feels like a humiliation ritual.
Yeah,
and it's
You're
just
not gonna do
become
one,
like
just one.
Well,
you know they hate you. That's the thing, though. I know Lauren hates you. Like they fucking hate us.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I realize I'm making a huge mistake, but if I convince you to do one, you're going to tell me to do one.
Gonna be fapping it.
Well, yeah, we have to go together. So
I'll do one. I'm nice about it like that.
Yeah, I could watch one because that's like an hour out of my life, and then
Jesus, it's an hour.
It's got to be an hour, and then review it, and
and the most expensive season.
Hold on, I'll see if I can put the volume down a little bit. Yeah, I don't believe that for a second that it's the most expensive.
Think they padded or
global phenomenon? Yeah, fucking sure.
Whatever you say.
Yeah.
Something is shifting on this continent.
Ooh.
Bogafort is gathering an army.
No.
Mad Eye Moody there. Fuck me. I'm just waiting for like Lawrence Fishburne to show up.
She will be mine.
Can we win this fight?
Because everyone wants Ciri, because she's
got
the
some
most
really
important person.
Top tier lines of dialogue throughout this trailer. You know, nothing generic about it at all.
No.
Can we do this? Yes, we will. Things are happening. Something is stirring. Yes, we will fight.
War is coming.
Storm is coming.
Yeah.
My kettle. It's almost finished.
I'm putting together a team. Oh Christ! I
And
caught
so
that
she's
a
a
bad
mage.
moment.
She's a
Yeah, but
mage. How come she's wielding a sword?
Because she's a girl boss.
She
in
summoned
a-
it with her magic.
Because they
She's a
lose
girl
their
boss
magic.
in a show written by a fucking intersectional feminist. What do
She's
you
doing it in
expect to happen?
heels as well. That just seems dangerous.
As you do.
She is. You're right.
Girl look cool while doing it.
She got her magic back, by the way.
How Yennefer got her magic back. Great movie.
I find it quite fascinating, actually, when you just happen to pause it at random moments and you see what the actors were actually doing in these super cool fight scenes. You know, like the poses that they're in. It's
Why are they both fighting?
yeah.
We are stronger together.
You'd abandon.
There he
There
is.
he is.
Old
Where's
Lord
Pee Wee Herman?
Snow.
Peace to join me on a death march.
Oh, I hurt.
Until the day you.
By the way, if you want to share my screen, I have a picture of what Reaches should actually look like.
All right, let's see it. Right.
Isn't he just the splitting image of Lawrence
God.
Fishburne?
It's uncanny.
It's very close.
So accurate with the vest and the hair proportions. He doesn't look like Frederick Douglass at all.
No.
All of this
we're
just
cooked.
screams Netflix adaptation. I mean, it's just yeah.
Yeah, coming up is the fight with the CGI is terrible.
You did not mention anything about an ominous graveyard of death.
Oh.
Look at that! Look at that quirky dialogue go. Throw in some fucking pop culture references, and we've got the ghost of Joss Whedon resurrected right here.
I just needed Geralt to know that line.
Let's fucking move.
Let's fucking. He wouldn't even have said let's move. He was, whatever.
Why did they think this was going to work?
More girl bosses.
My God, it's intense. I'm just pausing it for copyright reasons. Really, I've got nothing interesting to say at this moment in time. What are we to take from that? But hey, guys, do you want some hope?
These aren't the people to give us hope.
Don't do that. Don't give me hope.
Guys, like, hope? We're here to take it away from you.
Oh.
Saving someone is the
Spooky.
most important job.
The Witcher is...
Somehow I don't think hope is. Well, actually, no. From their point of view, it kind of is because they filmed season 4 and 5 back to back, haven't they? So there's no stopping it. It's going to happen. They're going to get their 5 seasons, no matter how bad this is.
Yeah, that's why I think they say it's the most expensive, because they filmed it and just cut it in half. And
yeah, did they say how many episodes it's going to be?
It's something light. I don't know, I'll go check while you punish us further with this trailer.
Yeah, I'll do.
State of flux. You are becoming something new.
Ooh.
Today
we fight.
Wow.
Evil dies tonight.
I was just waiting for her to say something like, "We stand together."
Yeah. Why even put lines in the trailers? If this is the caliber, what's the point? Just have action. Don't have these people try and speak.
And yet they do.
Yep. $1 beers.
How will you be reborn?
Well,
The Twitcher.
8 episodes.
8 each.
Netflix has confirmed season 5 will conclude the series. No shit.
That is a lot of money.
Will there be anyone watching it by the time they're done?
I'm shocked they kept going after Henry left in the 3rd one, and their ratings and Blood Origin, and dear God, they got another one called The Rats or something like that. It was supposed to be a series that they're condensing into a movie.
I think by the time Blood Origin came out, I think that really solidified for people. This creative team cannot be trusted with the Witcher franchise. Like this is what they wanted to make when they weren't like handcuffed to the original authors.
And Henry's not there, right? Like that's what Liam. He will just do everything that she tells him to do. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
According to AI, which as everybody knows is never ever wrong about anything, Netflix has spent more than $720 million on this franchise so far.
We covered it well over half a yeah.
Well, I would
imagine
say,
how many movies you could make with that.
Well, 2 after James Gunn, but sorry.
Well, yeah.
Wasn't Cavill getting 10 mil a show or something?
A season, maybe.
No, it was pretty large. I might be over
10 mil an episode? No, it couldn't have been that much. Surely.
You're probably right, but I recall when someone mentioned it, I went, okay, that was eye-watering.
I mean,
I don't imagine
that he's I don't imagine he's cheap, but wow, that would be seriously bad.
How much was Cavill paid?
It's just comforting to know that Netflix is there's 72 Godzilla minus ones we could have had for the price of The Witcher.
400,000 per episode is what.
There we go.
I beat you, Paul.
Yeah. For season 1 and season 2 was 1 million per episode.
Right.
Which is,
okay.
That's not horrible.
That's understandable for basically an almost A-list star.
Because he's turning down movie work, right? That he's certainly going to get paid more than that.
Yeah.
And shooting schedule probably even more when you're the lead on a series.
I mean, I imagine it's pretty intense, for an actor to get all this content made.
Yeah.
But
I actually find him way more appealing on TV than I do in movies.
Cavill?
Yeah.
I think it depends on the project that he's in. Certain things are just like he excels. When you saw him in Mission Impossible Fallout, it's like, oh shit, he can play a pretty good villain.
True.
Even as Superman, it's like, well, he's a great Superman, and unfortunately he's been trapped within a shitty bunch of movies. But
you hope with Highlander and Chad, someone who also respects lore and all of that, and like hired him because of it, they'll be like siloed and not get messed with. Hopefully. Maybe Sweet Summer Child dream, but
yeah. Hold on to that optimism.
I just want one good thing.
Yeah, I want something to work for him as well. I
because I don't think that Warhammer thing's gonna go very far. Amazon.
I mean,
And Man from Uncle didn't work.
I mean, I liked Man from Uncle. I thought he was good in it. I thought it was a pretty fun movie. It just didn't draw the crowds, I guess. But yeah, like Warhammer seems to have been in development for years now. We've not heard anything more about it. I don't know
He
if
hurt his leg. He showed a picture of it, and he had Warhammer papers. But I think that was just because he's a nerd and plays Warhammer, like the workout sheets.
Yes,
because we haven't heard them hiring writers or reserving studio space, and he's doing Highlander. So, like, when is this coming out?
Highlander.
I meant like Warhammer. Like, when the hell is that going to come out? Right, he's clearly
No
busy
idea.
on Highlander. Yeah.
I imagine they won't even start filming it until well into next year, and then so it'll be at least the following year before it comes out. So you're talking a while. Let me see. Cyans here says, as I crack open the first drink of the night, cheers. Also boosting Primitive War is finally on streaming, and Good Boy is apparently awesome. Nature is healing. Good Boy is a good movie.
I was relieved to hear you thought it was good because I'm seeing that, I think, tonight, actually.
Yeah. Like, don't expect too much from the horror aspects of it, but like from the kind of poignant, dramatic, the relationship between like a dog and its owner kind of side of things. It's really fucking good.
Short too, right? Isn't it only like an hour and 12 minutes?
Yeah, it's like 72 minutes.
My God,
it's
That's
really
insane.
short.
Unheard of these days that they wouldn't want to waste any time.
It's exactly the length it needs to be for the what it does.
Phrasing.
And it's weird because
Child.
You would never think like you could coax a performance out of a dog, like in terms of like showing emotions in specific moments, but somehow that movie found a way to do it. And apparently,
dogs can be really well fucking trained, like shockingly well trained.
It's like the director's dog, right?
The director's dog. I don't want to give away the ending, but I heard that Hassan Piker shocks the dog to death.
Yeah,
I saw there was like
look at my dog in the background. Notice like there's no shock collar on that one.
No,
because you love your dog.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
I saw like a promotional thing where they put a microphone to the dog and asked for his like top 4 movies or whatever, and at first it was they do a translation. It's like, I wanted to shout out to one of the best performers of a dog ever in The Thing, and I was like, oh, excellent choice. That dog was excellent in that fucking movie.
It's funny as well because so many people, when they looked at my review, like there was loads of comments saying like, you're not going to force me to watch a movie like where the dog dies. Like my heart can't take it.
You should fucking go anyway, even if you're worried about that. But it's probably not gonna.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but I would say to people, you should probably watch it. Like, I think you'll enjoy it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, shows you what people. It's the Google searches went up like whatever it was, 200-something% of like, does the dog die at the end of the movie?
It's also a fucking insane coincidence that comes out right with this controversy as well.
I know, it's so fucking weird. But yeah, like I'm the same with animals dying in movies. I'll never, for the rest of my life, I am never going to watch Marley and Me. I refuse it. I won't.
Yeah.
Because I know that will wreck me, and so I'm just not going to do it.
I thought you were going the direction of like you hate it when they do it cheaply, because I really fucking hate it when movies sort of fast track an emotional payoff. They're just like, yeah, here's a dog, look, dog, dead. Yeah, there you go. And you're just like, thanks.
No, I mean it can be done. Like
John Wick.
I Am Legend did it.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
So I was actually going to say there are times where I'll be like, no, fair. And I Am Legend is one of them, which is fair. And there's a couple of early sort of sorry, I think Badger, you just say John Wick, right?
Yeah. Someone said John Wick. Sorry.
Yeah. But I would defend that as well. I think that was a good one.
The one that always stuck with me was The Fly 2. I to this day, like, I feel bad about that movie. Do you guys know what I'm referencing?
I never watched The Fly 2. I
never watched The Fly 2. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, well, so it's like the son of Jeff Goldblum's character from the first movie. And they're still experimenting with the teleportation thing, and they put his pet dog into it to try it, and it comes out the other side, and it's all fucking mutated and shit. And like you think that's it, like it's been put down or whatever. Then you find out years fucking later they've kept it for experimentation. It's like, you know, it's horribly like malnourished and suffering and stuff, and he has to put it down himself. It's honestly one of the most bleak, soul destroying scenes in a movie that I've ever watched. And it's it feels so fucking mean spirited. It always stuck with me.
I only watch. I think of The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, where the fly, kill me, kill. I'm assuming they're referencing that. There's a bunch of Simpsons jokes I've seen that I didn't get until I watched like older movies. Like, oh, that's what.
Yeah, I'm bringing back traumatic memories for people in chat as well. Yeah, I had to relive that in my head, so you do as well. Yeah, it is horrible, and yeah, I do not like that movie at all.
Great special effects of that first one compared to how like we've degenerated into horrible CGI when some of the older practical effects look better.
We have degenerated as a society and as human beings, I think.
Going backwards.
Yeah. What was this one here? Question for the bar. Besides Andor, can any of you name any prequels that are better than the original work? I can only think of a couple of video games, Fire Emblem 7 and Tales of Berseria. So prequels that are better than the original.
Interesting question.
Yeah.
I'm struggling, honestly, to think of anything.
There's gotta be examples. Godfather Part 2 is a prequel, right? It's a prequel and a sequel, kind of.
Flashbacks, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah,
I would class it as a sequel, but with flashbacks.
This is another cheat, but Temple of Doom technically is a prequel, but it's
but
not better than Raiders.
It's not better than Raiders. No,
it's good though.
It's good.
To mention, what else? There's got to be something.
Yeah, you could make an argument for Better Call Saul being better than Breaking Bad. I mean, I would entertain that idea.
I would entertain it. I would need to see all of it. I've been told that like after the first 5 seasons, it gets really fucking awesome. But I'm like, I don't know if I can invest that amount of time. Like,
always like hearing that.
I enjoyed all of them, but I just like Bob Odenkirk and that character.
I mean, I thought it was really good. It's probably more consistent than Breaking Bad, but Breaking Bad had higher highs for me. Like Ozymandias is never going to be beaten.
Yeah.
Be tricky. I mean, neither, but well, I guess by virtue of just being finished, but also it would be hard to like be worse in terms of quality. Any Game of Thrones prequel stands a good chance of being better than what Game of Thrones the series became, the season 8. But there's still like they're either still halfway through or haven't yet come out, so it's hard to say definitively whether they will be.
And Game of Thrones is such a difficult one to assess because, like, when MauLer there was talking about the highs and lows, like the highs were some of the greatest moments in TV ever. The lows were some of the lowest as well, and like it fell like so far off. But then it's like, how do you assess the entirety of Game of Thrones when you've got such incredible moments in it, but it shits the bed in the ending?
At the cost of any surviving character who provided the high moments as well. So it's like I'd almost say, like, in terms of consistent quality, it's impossible to. It's not impossible. It's hard to be worse than what it became. It still allows for the tremendous highs that it achieved, but.
This is the question. Like, if someone comes to you and says, like, should I ever give Game of Thrones a try? And then what would you say to them? Because it's like, they're going to experience some incredible moments of TV.
You also know they're going to hate you for introducing it, but when they get to the later, you know?
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is it like, it's not how you start, it's how you finish? Or is it like, do you just take it, for its best and its worst? I don't know.
If we're counting video games, I would say that Halo Reach, which is a prequel, is better in and of itself than all the Halo games, just for its quality across the board.
Oh, that's a hot.
I know
take,
it's a hot take, but
so the question is, do you need to see the ending of a saga like that? Can you say just don't watch the last season?
I think that would be cheating.
I'd probably stop earlier than that.
Because then then you're sort of saying, like, you're almost saying to people, like, well, you don't get to know how this ends.
Yeah,
is a bad ending better than no ending whatsoever?
Snow should have been part of the end. That never. That really bugged my ass.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so much of that, but it's kind of loading the dice. I mean, it's a different question, at least, to say, is the best of this comparable to the best of the prequel? But if the question is simply prequels better than the totality of the original work, then unfortunately that does have to include seasons 5, 6, 7, and 8 as well.
It's because it's so much easier with movies. Like if I was to say to people, like, what do you want for the best sort of experience of the Terminator franchise? Like, well, just watch the first two and then just don't watch anything else. Like same with Aliens. Like watch the first two and just pretend like there was a fantastic series of movies after that, or nothing existed after that. With a TV show where there's a consistent storyline and you know, plot threads that have been running through the whole thing, it's more difficult to make that break and say, yeah, just don't think about anything after this season, because it's clearly leading somewhere. You just probably don't want to know where it is. You know, it's tricky. Night Shift Gaming says, hi all, Dub here, big fan since the Captain Marvel days. Thanks for the laughs. And MauLer, can we get your nastiest? Right you are, my love.
Right you are, my love.
Why is it the West Country accent coming in?
That's the quote.
You are my lover.
Hot fuzz.
That's hot fuzz, yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, can we stop getting Temu Fantasy name a thing? I mean, that's what it is now.
Yeah. Temu
we have fantasy TV shows at home, don't worry. That's what we get.
Are you guys going to now slip over to that trailer for the Game of Thrones show? Was this part of your plan here?
It wasn't part of my plan, but I can do it because I haven't even watched it actually.
I really enjoyed it.
Do you want to see it?
I mean, if they're doing what I think they're doing, I think it's going to be quite novel and fun.
That is my impression, because I did read those books as well, and that is kind of what they are. They are novel for George R. R. Martin, and they are fun, and they do obviously it helps if you know a lot of the context and the world building stuff, but they are self-contained stories, and they're not massively cynical, blood-curdling kind of high politics stuff. They are actually quite charming. Didn't know George R. R. Martin was capable of that, but he is.
It felt like I don't know if you know the series Paladin.
No,
it's a very Paladin kind of thing where they just go from town to town, and it's the two characters. It's a buddy show.
Yeah, Wolf and Cub kind of setup.
Mandalorian and Grogu to use the modern kids. But I don't know. I was kind of underwhelmed until they got to the tourney, but then everyone just started saying A Knight's Tale in the chat.
What I can do is, I can bring it up here, and then you guys can take a look.
Isn't HBO nasty about copyright?
Yeah. I mean, we can do it in like.
No, don't bother. It's okay. I just found it intriguingly lighthearted.
The thing is, like, they probably nailed me already for the Netflix thing. When I did
a penny in for a pound.
Witcher,
Oh, you're trying to drag them down.
No, we played this earlier.
The Squire just around.
What's that?
We played this on another stream. It didn't get hit, so you should be all right.
Oh, okay. I'll bring it a little bit.
Enough penny tree since I was a boy.
Why are we keeping doing this? These prequels to Game of Thrones. Like, we've got already House of the Dragon, and now we've got this.
Well, they're still pretty popular. I mean, it's kind of almost the convenience of him never having finished the mainline entries is that no one can say that they're all shit. So there's still the potential, and so there's still interest in the world he's built. And to be fair, the world he's built is vast and detailed. There are a lot of stories you can tell in it. It's a wonderful sandbox to play in. House of the Dragon played well in season 1, not so much in season 2.
There's a lot of interest in this, but I'm going to be very interested in Robert's Rebellion if they ever make that into a TV show, and it's like reason to believe it'll be good, because that'll be but that's another prequel.
It's all giving George an excuse to not do his books, though.
It is. It's procrastination writing is what it is. And some really good stuff can come out of procrastination writing. If you're writing something to avoid the thing you really don't want to do, you can be very creative. And these stories, there's a lot of that in these stories. These stories are really charming. I quite like, because I started a few months ago just going through all of his stuff in chronological order, in the vague hope he might have written a sentence by the time I finished all of it of the next book. I don't think he has. But these probably are some of my favorite ones. They're not very serious or anything like that, but just by being charming and relatively low stakes, but making good use of all the stuff he's built around them and the lore and everything. They're nice reads. I'd recommend them.
They charged me to be a good knight, to defend the weak and the innocent, and I swore that I would.
Just pausing for reasons.
Yep.
Are you
The big
Baelor
guy.
Targaryen?
No.
Then would you move the fuck out of the way?
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, that's your light-hearted humor there. Okay, I can get behind that. It would be kind of like, so Platoon, like having read the books as you were saying there, rather than like the extremely grim, dark, serious Game of Thrones mainline entries, these are more like light-hearted adventure stories.
Yeah, they're almost what you'd consider sort of classic fantasy writing. There's a romance to them. That your main character isn't some big lord. He's not a politician. He's not scheming. He's Sir Duncan the Tall, who is just a hedge knight at the beginning. Obviously, I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything, but you'll know some of the names if you've paid attention to the background details of the Game of Thrones stuff. Like you'll have picked up on his name also being one of the Kingsguard, for example. Like Egg is the little kid, and you kind of you can piece those pieces together once you rewatch Game of Thrones or reread Game of Thrones. So like it all like ties into the grander narrative of Westeros, but it's a very self-contained, quite short stories, and I believe they are completed. Yeah, it's low stakes adventure stuff. It's quite nice.
That would kind of be a nice, refreshing change in the world of like Game of Thrones.
Just go back to basic formula and
yeah, not some crazy convoluted overarching story. Not like the world is ending. Just like
also his casting. It's a big, tall, white dude. That's a rarity these days.
But that's the character. The character is he's overly tall.
Snape is pallid and sallow. You know what I'm saying? That so the character description doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see what the makeup of the show actually is.
Oh, they'll pay the tax for sure.
Sir Duncan the Tall.
Never heard of him.
Do you know every knight in the Seven Kingdoms then?
The good ones. If you could bring me to Ashford, I could swipe you, sir.
Rob me, and I'll hunt you down with dogs.
You don't have dogs.
It's so weird contrasting this with House of the Dragon.
Yeah,
just our other big obviously series that's going at the moment. That is like so fucking heavy and serious. This is just like, hey, let's have a little bit of fun.
The other side to the world. I mean, there's blood and bits and pieces of gore in it and stuff, obviously, because there's action sequences and the combat's still described fairly realistically, but it's not the major point of it. You're not supposed to read these and sort of work out the cynical machinations of the world. The Targaryens are there in the backdrop, and the world is still moving sort of in the background of the story it's telling, but you're kind of ancillary to all of that.
Is this like a Make-A-Wish kid or something like this in this?
No, there's a big twist involving the kid's identity, so I can't say who he is, but
it's Spoon Boy from The Matrix.
Yeah, people are saying that, chat.
I'll get some.
Where?
Oh.
And the actor's great playing the kid.
Boy, stop gaping. See to my horse.
I'm not a stable boy, my lord.
Not clever enough.
I know I'm.
Dragons there?
Interesting. Dragon, I think.
Well, that's it's a puppet show.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah. Because it's in the background.
It's not.
See it very well.
Sometimes I think there could be more.
No, okay, sure. Fine.
Why do you treat these royal lapdogs like they're your betters?
They are my betters.
These men have a name.
I mean, it doesn't feel like they've scrimped on the budget either. I mean, it's decent,
No, and it doesn't look digital like The Witcher does.
Yeah,
right. I believe these guys are deadly, and it's all serious, and the world, the verisimilitude, to borrow a phrase, is all there.
Yeah,
very consistent.
Witcher always looks like a soundstage.
Yes, and it's just a bit too crisp, and you can see the guys in the background pumping the smoke in. Okay, action.
I think maybe like for me, this would be a really good palate cleanser for the world of Game of Thrones, because as much as I respect the work that's gone into House of the Dragon and like the sophistication of the characters and the maturity of the plot and everything, fuck me, it gets a bit grim and dark and like serious and self-important at times. Like it's not exactly a rollicking thrill ride. And maybe I just need something like this to just remind me, like fantasy can also be kind of fun at times.
Yeah,
and
like
it can be an adventure.
Xena Warrior Princess.
And it's a profit of the work you've done as well. Because I mean, I completely understand and broadly agree with people who will never forgive George R.R. Martin if he doesn't finish the mainline stories, because that is what people got invested in to begin with. But Like there is still an awful lot to profit off of from the work that he has done. You can find different eras in the history that he's built and tell these self-contained stories in them. So like you can have a start, beginning, and an end, which is not the start, the beginning, and the end of the main story, but it still provides you a fairly satisfying thing. And you wouldn't have got it without all the work that he'd done sort of building up to the mainline saga entries. But at some point it would be nice for him to finish those. But this is going to be more fun and shorter, I think.
He's never going to finish those. It's
No.
Trading. What chance do I have?
I have no chance.
Falling star brings luck to those who see it.
That actor was talking to in that moment there was the brother in the Gentleman TV show, if you remember.
Oh, really? Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is I was happy about
shit.
that because I was like, yeah, I'll see a bit more stuff. He was pretty fun.
He seemed like he's going to be the Tyrion character, like the drunken, fun one in this
Don't
series.
just
at least.
act like the chicken. Be the chicken.
Chakan.
So the luck is ours alone.
It's a nice line. That's a really nice line.
Yeah. Bit more serious stuff going on here.
I need to fight honorably. But sometimes I think I buried my courage alongside the old man.
It's so weird watching this, and I'm like, I'm more enthused by this than I am by like House of the Dragon. It's weird.
Platoon, that's not Robert Baratheon, obviously, because he's not born yet, but that's like the family armor with the...
So be brave.
I didn't spot that. It might be.
That'll be the violence that you talked about there.
Yeah. It's because it's not spoiling anything, obviously, it's in the trade, so that there's a big tourney kind of event in the first book, which is one of the other things is, from what I know, I've apparently been corrected in chat as well, there are apparently 2 more books planned. As ever with George R.R. Martin, there's always 2 more books, so it's not quite finished, but the stories do work as self-contained things, but there aren't that many sort of really, really big set-piece events, which you'd normally expect for like a season finale, in the way that House of the Dragon builds up to a massive war, for example, and all the political stuff sort of coalesces into that. There's not really much of a parallel in this. There's a big tourney, which is the thing you're seeing here, which is a very, very important event in what happens. But I'm kind of interested to see how they sustain it and whether the audience sticks with it with the lack of that, because it is a small scale story. There's a mystery subplot and stuff like that. It does all build toward things, but it's not anything like the same scale as the other shows that we're used to.
Gary said that's Lionel Baratheon.
Mm-hmm. And I think as well, like I would appreciate that smaller scale and just like being able to get this this sense of like this core group of characters rather than feeling like there's world-changing events that have to be happening all the time.
Yeah,
you know, around everything. It's fine. I'm okay with
that. to memorize 10 different factions.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, worth it if it's good, you know. But yeah, this looks smaller scale, a little more chill, happy, and I don't know, well made.
Gary said he's looking forward to it.
Look at that. That is so well.
Yeah, I like that. You know,
the music has got a real light touch to it.
Yeah. You know what? That makes me quite happy, actually.
It's the one I'm looking forward to probably most. Like, I mean, House of the Dragon Season 3 is slightly filling me with a bit of dread at the moment. But this one kind of isn't. So that's going to be something to, keep an eye on and to look forward to. It is nice to have occasionally just stories which drop the cynicism from very interesting worlds. Cynicism is usually essential to keep any massive politically convoluted plot going, obviously. But, you know, he's built a whole world. He's making use of the rest of it. Nice to see. Nice character relationships, relatively small cast from what I remember. And the other nice thing about it as well, you can basically guarantee with all of these shows that are spin-offs from George R.R. Martin stuff, is that you can put a photo of a scene from this next to those 4 other fantasy shows later. And you can tell exactly which one is the Game of Thrones spin-off, because they all have this high production fidelity. It's great.
Yeah. And I think when you're referencing the cynicism that's necessary to make the world of Game of Thrones function, I think that's maybe the thing that I've become burned out on with his work, partly because, as we saw with, you know, the actual Game of Thrones show, the payoff to it was so deeply unsatisfying that I wish he'd never done it. And we don't know where House of the Dragon's ultimately going to finish, so we can't assess it yet. But that same cynicism and that same everyone's morally gray. There's no real heroes. Everyone's just various degrees of shittiness towards each other. It becomes like psychologically wearing after a while, to the point where I don't even necessarily want to watch it. You know, it's like I respect it on an intellectual level. It's like, well, okay, yeah, there's definitely like interesting things going on here in terms of the writing, performances, all that stuff. But I'm not invested in the characters because none of them are good people, and like I'm just not like rooting for any of them, really.
Well, the key detail is the Paragons get killed in shocking ways, and you're like, oh, like I was rooting for that guy, and he's out. Well, at least there's his son. Oh, he's dead too.
Well, yeah, George described this himself, where he's just straight up went through the list of characters. It's like, well, everyone assumed that Ned Stark would be the hero that would rise and like put things right. So I killed him off immediately. And then, well, what's next? Robb, his son. He's the most heroic of the children. So I killed him. And I just thought, is that it? Is that literally the extent of your fucking thought process on this? Is like take the most heroic character and just kill them?
I mean, you can give, I'm not a huge fan of just shitting on him exclusively.
No.
Like, there's a lot of meaning to be drawn out of the journeys for Ned and Robb. And then, of course, like, what was so disappointing is Jon was the successor to those roles. It was like, here we go. This is our guy. He's gonna... I remember this all kicked in with, when he bent the knee to fucking Daenerys. It was like, oh, because he like, stops being a character and instead starts being her, basically.
And the other characters around him as well, who you would say still have the right motives, even if they're sometimes willing to do dark and cynical things. The Varys and Tyrion in particular are both like assassinated very, very quickly by the end of the TV show in Game of Thrones. Like all the good, so there is still sort of hope up until the point at which really I think Varys and Tyrion go that way. And obviously Jon being like so prominent up until the exact moment at which he isn't. The show loses any prospect of a satisfying conclusion because it did have some good characters. It did have some morally good characters, that is, and it ruined them.
And that's a shocking kill count for Daenerys, which it didn't make it easier to like her. That she was like a black hole. That Tyrion, Varys, and Jon all lost their best traits by being near her. It was like, oh
yes. That's the power of the simp, I suppose.
I truly think he's trapped. He saw the reaction and people fucking hating what happened, and that's his ending, and he has no way to get there. And so he'll just keep doing everything else but finishing the stories.
I think so, yeah.
Like it all ends with Daenerys doing what she did.
And Arya using her special knifing skills.
Don't bring up the fucking Battle of Winterfell again.
God, that was so... The neutering of Jon was...
Because the thing is, like, Arya was a great character in her prime, and I really liked the arc she went through, but then they just made her the fucking unstoppable girl boss who kills everything, and I was like, oh, fuck off.
She was clearly favored by George. Even in the books, it gets a little out of hand. She starts achieving way too fucking much. It made more sense, I think, thematically for Theon to take out the Night King than fucking Arya.
Yes. I thought they set up Jon I do like that one scene where Sansa's watching Arya fight and like realize how much skill she's gotten since she left. But Jon should have been the...
Of course, anyone should have been there, Too obvious, though. That's what I said. Too obvious.
Right. Bro, even if he had fought that dragon somehow, like stupidly. I
yelled at the ice dragon. That was the best payoff ever.
But when you're dealing with a saga like that, and you've taken the audience along, you want to give them what they have been expecting so they can cheer for it. Sure, do it in an interesting way, but Jon should have been the hero of this whole saga. I'm sorry. But I'm a traditionalist.
You don't even make that argument. They set it all up. It's all there, and then they were like, "Nah, fuck it."
Yeah. Well, I think I cannot remember the author's name, but it was like another like fantasy author who made a very lengthy Twitter post about like the sort of philosophical underpinnings of George's idea of Game of Thrones, and like his whole basis was basically. George wanted to undermine just the very like stereotypical tropes of the fantasy genre. So like, the stereotypical hero who's going to rise up and like save everyone. No, that's like too obvious. Like we're going to kill him off because heroes in the real world don't have the ruthlessness, the wherewithal to survive in a politically complex world. But what he was suggesting is that eventually there will come an existential threat in the form of the White Walkers in this case that will require some kind of heroes to rise up eventually beyond this like political infighting and stuff to actually take on this bigger threat to the entire world, like solidifying that message that we don't necessarily need the simplistic predictable heroes that you see in the normal fantasy genre, but some kind of heroic character eventually has to come up to fill that void.
Absolutely.
I picked Little Platoon to be the hero.
Well, yeah, but it was that elevation from low fantasy, which is very gritty, very dark, very violent. Eventually, it will transition into high fantasy right at the end to give you that satisfying emotional beat. But he can't fucking bring himself to do it now. One, because he's made it way too complicated to try and like tie up all the plot threads in his world. And two, I don't know, I think he's just become a cynical fucking boomer who just can't handle the idea of real heroic people anymore. And I think that's a pretty fair assessment of his mindset as a writer.
Grim, man. That fucking ending of season 8, they, you know, the air of thought is like, hey, the good guys won, and you're just sitting there like, man, this is empty and dead. This is just horrific as an ending.
Yep. Badger, I know you have to bounce because you're going to see Tron Ares after we've explained it all to you.
Oh no.
Yeah, I stupidly bought tickets before it was all explained and my torture was described ahead of time. So that's going to be fun.
You know, you now have access to a version of it that you could watch
I
in
appreciate
the comfort
that.
of your own home.
Pirate ships be falling, things falling off of them. Yeah, I actually have a show with Star Wars Theory, and then tonight I have to go see Tron, which is torturous.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for describing it so vividly.
Well, we wish you luck, and it'll be interesting to hear your assessment once you've experienced it for yourself.
Very much appreciate the invite. Thank you guys. Have a good show, and wish me luck. Pray for me. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, you will need it. All right, thanks, man. All right, how about we finish up with a few super chats, and that will be our day.
Sure,
what a glorious day it's been. Blank Face says here, Metal Commander has a makeshift campaign for a little plushy version of himself, so let's all come together and support our second favorite German.
Well, he does indeed. A lot of people have been asking for it for a while to fit in with the collections. You can find it on Makeship if you're interested. Metal Commander, I think it's called Mootle. And
it is his final solution to the problem of not enough plushies of himself. So
wasn't Queen Elizabeth technically German?
Most of the European aristocracy are, because there's a lot of inbreeding going on.
Yeah,
with all
that was the original Windsor family name was Saxe Coburg Gotha or something, wasn't it? I think, and they changed it to Windsor just before I think it was the First World War to make it seem more patriotic.
Yes, it was. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, family dinners must have been very awkward. During World War One. Ace Degenerate says, "Hello, MauLer. What do you think of Predator, Killer of Killers? Have you even seen it yet? Actually,
I got put off watching it. I don't really want to go near it. I heard too many bad things. And the super the super cringe ending. Nah, I'm right. I'll leave that one.
Probably better off with it." Ashley Gamble says, "Which Star Wars character would make the best Starfleet captain, and who in Star Trek would make the best rebel?" Probably Captain Sisko would make the best rebel. I think he was the most morally flexible of the captains. As for Star Wars characters, who's the most like morally upstanding, by the book sort of person that you can think of?
I mean, to an extent, there's a couple of people in the running here you could choose from. It would be funny if, when they say the best Starfleet captain, that doesn't necessarily, like, does that automatically mean they'd have to be moral? Or are we talking, like, really efficient?
I'd like
no,
Worf.
I think you have to be
Worf.
You have to be kind. I think you have to be kind of moral if you're going to survive in Starfleet, because it's,
I was just thinking, like, optimal Thrawn, like the not the shit Thrawn, but it'd be
the good
Thrawn.
I love it. Like, all these like Imperial.
Star Wars
captains. Like, it's like, well, we're really good at planetary invasions, so I think we'd be good candidates for Starfleet. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Qui-Gon, yeah, from chat. That could be cool. Qui-Gon, maybe.
Admiral Akbar, surely. He's already a Starfleet captain.
A normal choice, yeah. He's I'm sure he'd do well.
Wedge, very like efficient flyer. I seems to always have a pretty hand.
I feel like
tight hand.
Don't discount Jar Jar. He was a senator.
He did pretty well for himself. He definitely did.
He was responsible for the Clone Wars. He gave Palpatine the emergency power.
Fucking hell,
George! Why did you write that?
Oh, George. Yeah, Oi MauLer, the Balrog's roar was created by rubbing two concrete blocks together.
I've spoken before a couple of times. I adore that roar. That is some like glorious sound editing or Foley, I guess you'd say, right? Like the creation of that sound. It's the only way I could describe it when listening to it the first time and subsequent times is, man, that's exactly what I think it should sound like, and I never could have told you that before hearing it. You know what I mean?
And he roars so hard that his throat turns into like a blowtorch as well. Like, pretty cool.
Oh, the Balrog is so fucking cool.
Do you need a moment?
Well, it's funny. I just get mad when I see him in Rings of Power. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Says
It was fun doing our radio show. We did 120 Frantic Time episodes, and we had a live sound effects person when we were doing our show live, much like they used to do it at the BBC. And it was really neat to find out things like a taped up package of cornstarch was snow, walking through the snow. Wait. Well, that sounds exactly like trudging through snow. Of course, you guys don't have any snow in the UK, so you wouldn't.
We've heard about it.
No, it doesn't really happen here. But when it does, the entire country grounds to a halt.
It's lovely.
Yeah, sometimes we'll even take it out of our freezers, and pretend.
So I'm just telling you, that's the secret to walking through snow on radio is squeezing a bag of cornstarch.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
There you go. Also, Eowyn's funeral scene was shot on the actor's first day on set. Do you know that, MauLer?
No.
I might have heard that at some point, but yeah, fair. Good stuff. I mean,
it's tough.
The behind-the-scenes facts of that whole trilogy are like just wonderful.
Well, did you see? Like, it was doing the rounds on Twitter the other day, where it was like, showing us scenes of like Gandalf teaching Frodo how to speak. Sindar.
Oh yeah, I saw your post about it. Yeah.
And I was like, man, with all this extra footage, like hundreds of hours that they have essentially of unused footage, you could probably make a mini series out of each movie. I
think
you're
right. Yeah,
6 episodes, like 6 hours worth of footage for each film, and just a combination of like what we had in the extended cuts and also like all this additional footage. Why not do that? It's like
a great idea.
That would be an uncanny fucking experience, watching what but then all these extra scenes. But it's also of the actors at the time with the effects, and then you just be like, "Whoa!" Yeah. It's like my memories are being changed in real time. Like, what the fuck?
It's money for old rope from the studio's point of view because the footage has already been shot. Like, you might have to put some VFX in here and there, but like otherwise, like, why not do it? The appetite would 100% be there.
If you're gonna experiment, do that instead of whatever the hell they do these days.
Yeah. Well, you didn't like War of the Rohirrim, MauLer? You bigot.
No. Again, another example of something you guys told me to stay away from, and so I did. It's like, I'm not gonna do that.
Wow.
Richard Shaft says, fun fact, Ares is an LLM, not an AI. I started counting and the timer only went down by about half my count for some scenes. He hallucinates the clocks.
Oh.
Well, okay. I'll take your word for that one.
Large language model. LLM stands for large language model.
Okay. MauLer, what do you think of the season premiere of Smiling Friends?
I loved it. The building inspector guy, I was fucking dying laughing at him. He's just this old dude who's tiny and he's got the worst posture you could ever imagine. And Mr. Boss decides because they won't survive the inspection that he needs to draw him into their basement and kill him. It's
okay.
It's funny as shit. Yeah, I mean, Smiling Friends is it's one of the best TV shows coming out today, and if you watch it, you won't understand what the fuck is going on, and it's perfect.
I did watch a couple of episodes, I think with you and Fringy or Metal. Like,
I showed you like the pilot, I think, or something.
Is it a streaming service? Is it on a streaming service?
It comes out on Adult Swim, but as they've actually said, the creators, you can find it on Twitter. Just search, and someone will have uploaded. They're only 10-minute episodes, so they're easy to find.
Did you guys have a holiday for Patricia Routledge?
Oh yeah, she was like 95 or something.
Was
I honestly
national
loved
holiday.
I loved keeping up with
Oh,
appearances
my
back in the day. Like
God.
she was so fucking good in that. Yeah, that was a proper
One of the best
classic.
sitcoms of all time that nobody talks about.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Like it says, Platoon and MauLer don't have a clue what we're talking about right now.
I've heard the names. I just can't put faces to them.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Hyacinth Bouquet?
Yes.
Bucket. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Hyacinth
So that's
Bucket.
yeah. Hyacinth Bucket. So yeah, that was the character.
It's
that she
cringe.
played.
It's cringe comedy.
It really is. Yeah.
Oh no! Don't do that, please. Oh, it's so funny. Such a good sitcom.
It is good stuff. A Tron movie without Tron is like Chuck Norris movie without Chuck Norris, destined to fail. When AI is asked to render an image of terrifying awesomeness, it just shows Chuck Norris's beard.
Yeah.
And it is terrifyingly awesome. So true that. Yeah, Mithrigan touched my pathiness.
Alrighty.
Who wins, Eve Kim or Rey Skywalker? Well, Rey's got lightsabers.
It's got to be Rey, yeah.
Yeah. I might even be tempted to say Rey is a better actress as well.
Easily. I think Daisy's better.
Well, who's better, Gal Gadot or the girl that played Eve? That's a tough one. It's the clash of the titans right here.
Gal
I get
Gadot
more
is not
joy.
really
Yeah,
a
I'd get
good
loads
actor.
more joy out of Gal Gadot than I would.
That's like avoiding the question, though.
Get loads more joy.
Well, and I can say Gal Gadot is hotter, and therefore, but it's like, but that's not it. We got to focus. Got to ignore all other elements. Who is the better?
I think as well, Gal just goes for it a bit harder. There's probably less talent there, but I feel like she's trying more.
Yeah.
I would way prefer to see her doing whatever role is suggested. It's more funny. I do agree with you, dude.
Yeah, if you pick Gal, though, you will lose all your BAFTA friends.
Oh,
yeah. Reno the Turk says, called it. The minute I saw his morbid face, I decided not to watch the movie. Sorry.
I'm serious about it. He thought that Morbius was going to help him out. Like, and it's just been a stupid meme.
Fuck. I don't know why that got me. Some exec thought that maybe. Sorry. I'm going to have to stop. Some exec thought that memeing Morbius was a good thing. The new Joker too. Make it happen, please. Jesus. Cannon Falderall. Drinker, Demon Slayer is past Superman at what is
Worldwide.
that? Worldwide.
Worldwide box office. Yeah.
Biggest comic book movie and 2D animated film of 2025 is not from Marvel, DC, or Disney.
Yeah.
Well, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
And he says, which shows how much influence, audience, and dollars worldwide Hollywood has abandoned in genres it invented, and for what? The message. That's 100% true, yeah. So good on it. Once I get an English copy that I can watch with subtitles or whatever I need, I'm looking forward to watching Demon Slayer.
Yeah, for me to check both. And K-pop Demon Hunters is the other massively successful one.
great.
I've not
Yeah,
seen
it's
either
fun.
of them, but I've been meaning to check them out.
I absolutely. I'm an anime nut.
Yeah.
I think you'll have a blast
with
K-pop.
K-pop is very good.
Okay.
It's really fun. And I think people always talk about like the soundtrack and stuff for it, which is all fine, but I think there's quite a nice like heartwarming little story in there as well, and I think they did a really good job like fleshing out 3 quite likable female characters, which is a pretty tough order in modern Hollywood, but like they did a good job with that one. So hats off to them.
And the music is written more like a Broadway musical where they actually have themes and they're talking to each other. The songs respond to each other's needs and the competition with the boy band and how they feel about the boy band. So you're listening to the lyrics. You're going, I actually understand this song. It has a meaning. It's going somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's very Broadway that way.
In terms of choreography, it's often perfectly synced up with the action that's going on as well, which is
very
pretty
talented
neat to see.
cartoon actors. Yes.
Yeah.
They had a good snap.
Reno the Turk says, also, I'm screaming at my phone with all the quotes that are missed. Grease me up. Bort, purple monkey dishwasher. How about a hug? You used me, Skinner. You used me.
No, grease me up, woman.
I mean, if you want Simpsons quotes, Christ, that's an entire episode of Open Bar, just us going through it all.
You might be like the third biggest Simpsons fan in our sphere, behind me and Vringy, because you like reference it. Basically, no one else really does. But I'm always like, how much do you? I think you're a secret huge fan. That's what I reckon.
How much do I really know?
Well, I think you're like an iceberg. You hide in a huge power level.
I think like if you asked me to reference like seasons of The Simpsons up until like maybe the early 2000s, I'd be fine. Beyond that, it starts to get pretty hazy. So
that's good, honestly.
The most fun I can recall having was getting together with a bunch of stand-ups, and all we did was punchlines to the dirtiest jokes.
Yeah.
And you got just find the car keys and we'll drive out,
just like no setup, just
no setup. It was just the punchline, and we were just howling with laughter because we knew the jokes, right?
Yeah. Marty Gray says, "Hey, Drinker and MauLer, how do you make a Scouse omelette? Well, first you steal 3 eggs. No offense, Reaper. Well, he's not here to get offended, and he probably wouldn't give a shit anyway. So
he'd be fine."
Jay Smart, it's Tron in time. I'll see myself out. You should. 6% English says, in the intro you say a 10-pack of beers. Do you really have 10 and not 12 packs in the UK? They usually come in 6 packs.
6 packs as well, yeah.
So,
and in Canada we have 2 4s.
Okay,
you guys are aliens.
Which is 24, right?
Clue me in here, right? What the fuck's a double in Canada?
It's 2 cream, 2 sugar in the coffee.
And you guys drink that?
Yep, I
willingly.
Don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I don't even drink Tim Hortons. I refuse.
Okay. Strong feelings.
It's a terrible coffee. But it's legendary.
Yeah. You guys do like your Tim Hortons. I've discovered that when I was there.
Tim Hortons, the hockey player, died in a Fury car crash, and we say that they still have ground pieces of his body that they put into the coffee.
It's beautiful. Cobra Blade. Curious if the panels had a critical listen to the Airy soundtrack. It's not bad, but I don't think it's as good as Daft Punk's work on Legacy.
That is a ice cold take, I would say. Like the thing, to be fair, no matter how good the Airy soundtrack is going to be, it's going against a real fucking like hard opponent. Daft Punk's work on Legacy is probably my favorite part of the movie, to be honest with you.
Yes. By some distance. But it sort of came up earlier as well. Like that music tells the story of that film. This film doesn't have a story, so the music doesn't try and tell it.
Yeah. It's wizard time, mother humpers. I cast live streaming criticizing shitty Disney movies. I mean, that's kind of what we've done. Yeah. Hey lads, anyone watch Thunderbirds back in the day? I loved it as a kid and keen for the new remaster that they're doing.
I have a lot of the DVDs.
I did remember it was on TV back in the early 90s when I was a kid, and it was pretty fucking cool.
You can find those of them on YouTube. They're great. There's so much fun to watch because of all the. I mean, it's obviously like all the puppets are great, but just I would rather watch the Thunderbird style mechanical like ships on strings than I would most modern CGI bullshit. And that's not on CGI as a concept. It's just that they're so creative. Scale models. They had like 5 versions of every ship for depending on how like it has to be in relation to everything else. It actually looks really good for what it is. There's something really just quaint and lovely about Thunderbirds.
It's like when you see like one of the ships come down, like it's usually not one of the Thunderbird ships, but like something that needs to be rescued, and it like crashes and blows up and stuff, and it's all pyrotechnics and models like getting destroyed. It looks great. It looked 100 times better than any sort of CGI. I mean, shit, man. When I was a little kid, like I remember watching Thomas the Tank Engine, and it was actual like trains going around on like the model tracks and everything. And when they crashed, again, it looked great. And then you eventually transitioned over to CGI, I guess, and it just looked like dog shit, and there was no weight to anything.
it gave us Team America, which is, you know, a good
did.
legacy for anyone. In fact, Jerry Anderson watched Team America because they sent a copy of it to him. He said, I didn't care much for the swearing, but the puppetry was very good.
The puppetry
he was a very
I mean,
moral.
watching two naked puppets fuck each other is just
He was a super
something
moral,
you'll never
super
recover
moral
from.
guy based on documentaries I saw of him. I was introduced to that style with Supercar.
I've not seen that one.
So Supercar, I believe, is maybe one of his first super animatronic animation style. It was done in black and white too. I saw it in Spain when I was a tiny child. My parents took me to Spain in 1962, where I threw up in a Citroën taxi in Paris. Then we went to the island of Mallorca, and then I saw it in a bar, and in black and white in Spanish, and I was completely enthralled.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I was 10.
I think probably my favorite story with Team America, like when they referenced it, there was when they had Michael Moore's puppet and they filled him up with ham, so that when he blows himself up, like, just like bits of meat just go flying everywhere.
Yeah, their best quote was, "This is way more work than we thought it was going to be."
Yeah,
dude. I adore them for having made it, and it's like, thank you so much. You know, because they were just like, it's a nightmare. We'd never do it again. It's like, all right. Just thankful we got the first one. When the fucking trailer came out, it was just like, this is gonna be the best movie ever, and it was.
And it was
great.
Yeah. And to this day, guys like Gary still reference the Film Actors Guild.
It is a everyone should go rewatch that film. You'd be surprised how many jokes still work perfectly today.
Oh yeah, because like I know it's very topical with like the war on terror and stuff like that, and so that's dated to some degree, but like yeah, the overall humor is like superb.
And a lot of actors that were parried in there hated the movie.
Yeah, like one or two were nice and sent nice letters, but then you get people like Sean Penn who did not like it very much.
I think Matt Damon definitely like took it in the spirit it was intended. So he was.
I think Sarandon was mad at it.
Yeah.
I think George Clooney was chill with it, I think, from what I recall.
Anyways.
But yeah, good stuff. I'll probably finish up there anyway. You wonderful chaps. It's been great to have you on this evening. Paul, it's been great to have you back for the first time in ages.
I'll come back whenever you want me. Yes, it was great to see all you guys. You guys are great.
Platoon, it is always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
You always answer the call, and man, I appreciate you coming on for this.
I almost didn't make it because I had to get through his 4.5-hour fucking video.
It's worth it.
Come on, it was a banger though.
No.
Absolutely. Team America references in that video as well.
Yeah. God, yeah. That Superman deserves every ounce of criticism that you give it. So yeah, good work on that one.
I don't know how you do it.
But yeah, for everyone that's watching this, thank you for joining us tonight. It's been awesome having everyone here. And the super chats, as always, the ones that we've missed, we will answer them in a super chat catch-up stream. But that is all we've got for today. So go away now.
Bye.
Bye.